Chapter 3794. Shit, what are you thinking? Even if I hate that bad guy again, I won't really kill him. I'm talking about other business. Emon Yen shakes his head. Can you stop thinking so suddenly and scare me? Long Chen didn't have a good breath. He really thought he wanted him to join hands to deal with his master. He was so scared that he even woke up half drunk. Brother, I tell you that there are great secrets hidden in the 3,000 worlds, which are amazing secrets. This place has been buried for a whole period of time. Based on my years of archaeological experience, the location of the Great Tomb has been roughly determined. Am I read the right way? To steal a tomb? Whose tomb did you steal? Seeing Emon Yen's solemn look, Long Chen can't help but also come to the spirit. Emon Yen's expression tells him that this is definitely a big deal. I don't know whose tomb it is or what it was buried. But I went into the 3,000 world and traveled across the major regions to see the trend of mountains and rivers, the flow direction of lakes, and the running routes of the sun, moon, and stars. I am sure that there is a great tomb under some place. Let's say that, since I joined the Wuliang Palace, although my master was immoral and smoked, he did teach me a lot of good things. My vision will never go wrong. However, I went to that place once. Although I only tried it on the edge, it made my hair stand on end. As the saying goes, a gentleman does not stand under a dangerous wall, but I finally quit to take over the robbery and promote myself to the Queen of Immortals. I intend to try again. You are my brother, you have to help me, but I still feel a little uneasy about the two of us. You'd better call Guoran and Xia Chen, and we 4 brothers should be able to eat this business. Emon Yandao. So terrible? You're not sure you're promoted to the King of Immortals? The dragon dust is frightened, with Emon Yang present strength, unexpectedly also wants to be so cautious. I tell you, maybe I don't have as much combat experience as you, but I can clap my chest and say that no one can match me in 9 days, except for my immoral master. After I withdrew from the edge of the tomb, it happened that Lingshan Heaven was opened. Originally, my place to cross the loot was selected in another place, but this place is close to the tomb. I'll try to see if I can see a trace of it in the Tianjia. Guess what? There were monsters in the disaster. They were full of darkness. Although they were fairyland, they killed me. Besides, I had to take care of your brothers of the Dragon Blood Legion while I was crossing the loot. I was almost unable to hold on. Later, 9 days later, the 9-star descendant, known as the First Soldier, appeared. As soon as they appeared, they fought fiercely with those monsters. I'll tell you, those guys are so fierce that they kill those dark monsters. If it wasn't for them, we would be dead. In the end, the 9-star descendant lost 2 defeats with those dark monsters. We picked up a big bargain and absorbed the power of thunder. It can be said that it is a perfect robbery. In my opinion, these dark monsters and the descendants of the 9 stars will manifest themselves in the disaster. I think most of them have something to do with the tomb. The most terrifying thing is that, at the end of the disaster, there is a terrible ghost in the sky, which is full of een. However, I don't know whether it is because of the lack of power to rob the clouds and finally failed to manifest itself. I also don't know what kind of creature it is. To tell you the truth, after the ghosts appeared, I felt a little hairy in my heart. I didn't intend to study the tomb anymore. For the first time in my life, I had this bad feeling. But when you come, I hope again. If you find Xia Chen and Guoran and have a top array mage and a top armor division, I think I can take a chance. Emon Yen holds the fist. It sounds dangerous, but it's palpitating. You're too bad. Long Chen skimmed his mouth. Emon Yen, this guy didn't hold back any good intentions. Knowing that he was also a man of great curiosity, he successfully aroused the strong desire of dragon dust. Are you sure it's a big deal? Long Chen carefully tunnel. I swear, it's a big deal. It's as big as it's never been before, it's too big to imagine. Emon Yen is serious. Damn it, in that case, do it. Dragon dust bit his teeth and picked up the wine cup. Emon Yen ha smile, excited, raised the glass and dragon dust collided for a while. 2 people drink, this matter is so settled. Dragon dust and Emon Yen drink a few cups. 2 people can no longer support, one after another drunk on the ground, like a dead pig in the past. This sleep was very sweet. It was the best sleep since Longchen entered the fairyland. After 3 days of sleep, he was full of energy and felt full of strength. This sleep made Longchen feel full of energy and energy. According to the law, practitioners don't need to sleep, but this most primitive way of rest sometimes brings people different states. Emon is similar to dragon dust. At the same time, he wakes up, while the other dragon blood soldiers are still sleeping. Beside each dragon blood warrior, there is a beautiful maid waiting on her. It has to be said that such service is really worth the rent of 100 million immortal Wangjing for a day. 2 people just wake up, there is a maid to serve 2 people wash gargle. Longchen is not used to being served, Emon is used to it. Brother, you have to learn to enjoy life, always think about relaxation, in order to get yourself into the best state. Emon enjoys it while closing her eyes. Haha, after meeting Lu Zongying, I hope you can still enjoy it like this. Longchen haha smile way, let Lu Zongying serve him? It is estimated that a basin of water will be directly on his head. Haha, so people should have fun in time, otherwise, there will be no shop after this village. Emon is totally indifferent to the tunnel. Emon is not worried about Lu Zongying. At the beginning, the immoral Taoist priest assured him that Lu Zongying was absolutely safe. Only then did he feel at ease about archaeology. After grooming and dressing up, Longchen and Emon are different in their temperament. One is a jade tree in the wind, the other is a fairyland. Seeing the maids, they are full of splendor. However, they only saw the 2 men's handsome, but did not see Longchen's Yushlingfeng still with a murderous spirit, and Emonyen's fairy spirit, showing a touch of indecency. Let's take you out with a molecule. Emon said words, with the dragon dust out of the palace. You can do it in this circle. Longchen couldn't help but wonder. Must drop, come out to mix, have no friend what line? Emon said words, with the dragon dust came to a manor. It's amazing to have a manor in Haotian City. When you enter the manor, you will be warmly received. There are banquets in it. Emon was not polite. He took Longchen and sat down to eat. It turned out that this was a wedding banquet. Just after eating, a new couple came to propose a toast. When the newly married man looked at Longchen, he was stunned. This brother looks a little fresh. Are you? Dragon dust is also a Leng. This person is not Emonyen's friend? Longchen can't help looking at Emonyen, but found that he is no longer in the seat. Looking at the distance, he saw the boy wiped a mouthful of oil and ran away. Hold the grass. Is that okay? The dragon dust is stupid at once. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3795 Dragon Dust suddenly understood, Emon and others do not know each other, pull him into cheat eat cheat drink. The result was found by others. When he arrived, he ran first by himself. Being watched by so many people, Longchen wanted to find a place to drill in. However, to say that Longchen is also really smart and quick to think. When the newly married man asked, Longchen sighed and looked at the woman affectionately and said, "Since you asked, I will tell you the truth. In fact, I have been in love with your wife for a long time." As soon as Longchen said this, the faces of all the people present changed. It was a big feud to smash the scene at the wedding banquet. The newly married woman's face changed. She didn't know Longchen at all. However, Longchen said, "Well, since I'm here, I didn't want to go out alive. My beloved woman was robbed. It's meaningless to live. I plan to have a fight with you after the wedding banquet. However, I can see that you two agree with each other, and you are also more handsome than me and have higher accomplishments than me. I really can't compare with you. I feel that you two are a perfect couple. Forget it, I don't care about you. If you rob the woman I love secretly, I'll eat you and take a plate of stewed pork elbows. Let's make it clear." Then Longchen swaggered and walked out of the hall with a plate of braised pork elbows in the eyes of countless people, walking and eating. The people around him did not embarrass him. "I'll go. That's okay?" When Longchen came out, Emonyen was waiting for him outside the door. He was shocked to see Longchen break the embarrassing situation so easily. "Do you have any business?" The future master of the boundless palace is coming out to cheat on food and drink. Do you want to face? Longchen has no good breath. Cut, my master told me that you must not be shameful in life, otherwise you will suffer a great loss. Go and eat a family. Mo Nyang didn't care about the tunnel, and then he took the dragon dust to another place where the banquet was placed in the distance. Forget it, I won't go. I don't eat much. This plate of elbows is enough for me to eat. Go ahead and I'll wait for you. Longchen gnaws his elbow and blurs out his way. He doesn't want to be pit again by this guy. Well, you wait for me for a moment. I'm not full just now. I'll come back after filling in a little more. If I'm found out, I'll follow your routine. Mo Nyen finished and went straight to another place. Longchen was speechless for a while, but when he thought about it, he was also envious. Mo Nyen at least kept his childlike innocence, which showed that he was carefree and heartless. He had that condition. There are a lot of banquets in this place. Mo Nyen comes to a relatively busy place. Seeing that the people here are busy toasting, he casually finds a place, no matter who it is, and sits down and eats. Hello boy, who are you? Mo Nyen just ate a few mouthfuls. Someone found him and looked at him badly. I came all the way to congratulate you. I wish your family today every year, and every year there is today. Mo Nyen learns the appearance of the dragon dust, a face-heap smile tunnel. However, he found that before he finished his words, the faces of the people here had changed, and their eyes were red with blood. We have a funeral banquet here. Do you want us to be what we are and what we are today? A powerful man with a god's dignity clenched his teeth. Mo Nyen found out that there was a spirit hall in the distance. There was a big dayin on it. Mo Nyen's mouth was open. Longchen had just finished eating his elbow on the plate when he saw Mo Nyen running over in a panic. Longchen couldn't help asking, "Are you full so soon? You bastard, don't run away." Then Longchen saw Mo Nyen's back, and countless strong men rushed over with a ferocious face, shouting abuse, as if to bite Mo Nyen alive. As soon as Longchen saw that the situation was not good, he ran away with Mo Nyen. This is Haotian City, and no force can be used. Finally, those people also symbolically chased for a period of time and went back. What have you done? Have you molested the bride? Longchen some speechless tunnel, how to make this? Forget it, don't mention it. Mo Nyen wanted to explain it, but he thought that 9 times out of 10, Longchen would laugh off his teeth, so he didn't say anything at all. Mo Nyen didn't yell and didn't eat enough. He took dragon dust around. As a result, Longchen soon saw that the name of the Dragon Blood Legion was written on many buildings, and the name of the palace under Mo Nyen's bag was also left. Mo Nyen said with a smile, "These are all the places I spent a lot of money to buy, and almost bought all the conspicuous positions in the whole Haotian city. As long as the people of the Dragon Blood Army see it, they will come to meet at the first time. With this method, I have contacted more than 70 Dragon Blood soldiers. I believe that with the passage of time, more Dragon Blood soldiers will gather here. If they can come here, they will surely see the message I have released." Dragon Dust nodded, so that the people of the Dragon Blood Legion, as long as they came here, would certainly be able to see these messages. Mo Nyen was really attentive. Mo Nyen takes Longchen to see these things, but also to make him feel at ease. He understands Longchen's mood and knows that Longchen wants to see these old brothers very much. Originally, Mo Nyen wanted to take Longchen around to see if he could buy something for him. Now Mo Nyen is like a local tyrant, and he seems to have a lot of money to spend. However, Longchen still refused, and he wanted to go to close for a few hours, because it was time to turn on the 5th star. Only when the 5th star was turned on and the body adapted to a certain period of time, could he turn on the 6th star, and finally open the 7-star combat body in full state. After returning to the palace, he finds that Jiang Lei and others have not yet woken up. Longchen directly enters the closed door. There is a luxurious place in the palace. 3 hours later, Longchen finally opens the 5th star. When the 5 stars open, the purple air rises, and the breath of dragon dust becomes deeper and sharper. When Longchen went out of the pass, to his surprise, there were 3 more dragon blood soldiers who came to him through the announcement issued by Emon Yen. At this time, Jiang Lei and others finally wake up. Long Chen directly gives Tiandagugwo to everyone. Seeing that these people eat Tiandao fruit and become the supreme heaven pride, Emon Yen's eyes will protrude. Brother, do you have any spare? Don't forget me. Emon Yen's face envies the tunnel. You son of Mo family, you also found it? Long Chen was surprised. Only more than 3,000 people have been found, and the place of practice has been arranged. I think. Emon Yen felt embarrassed. Obviously, he knew that the treasure of dragon dust was against the sky, so he couldn't help fighting for some for his brother. It's all a small idea. Your brother of Moism is my brother. The dragon blood warrior has it. You must also have it. Dragon dust Pat's breastway, this thing still can lack? Emon Yang was overjoyed. 3 days later, Long Chen hit the stars with all his strength and finally opened the 6th star. In this way, it was only 1 step away from starting the 7-star battle. However, at this time, the 6-star combat body has been more than 10 times stronger than the past 6-star combat body, so that Long Chen has a great foundation. At this time, as Emon Yen expected, countless people poured into Haotian City, and dragon blood soldiers returned from all directions. Now there are more than 500 dragon blood soldiers. Dragon dust gave each of them the right heavenly fruit, and more than 500 people were promoted to the highest level of Tianjiao. All of a sudden, a plate on Long Chen's body lit up, and Long Chen was very happy. Guo Ran and Xia Chen appeared. www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3796. The nameplate given to Long Chen in summer morning finally reacts, which indicates that the distance between them should not be too far. After hearing the news from Guo Ran and Xia Chen, Emon Yen is even more excited than Long Chen. You know, if it wasn't for Long Chen who was closed these 2 days, he would like to take Long Chen out to look for someone. Come on, let's go and join them. Emon Yen couldn't stand the tunnel. Yes, but I have to arrange it first. Dragon Dust directly summoned all the dragon blood soldiers and told them not to leave the city during this period of time, but to stay here to practice and wait for the dragon blood soldiers to come and meet. At the same time, Long Chen left hundreds of Tiandagugwo and taught Jiang Lei how to distinguish the types of Tiandagugwo and what kind of people to eat. After arranging these, Long Chen and Emon Yen left the palace. Because the fluctuation of the nameplate was very weak, Long Chen couldn't determine the exact direction. After studying it, they decided to carry out a medium to short distance transmission first. If it was wrong, it could still be transmitted back. When the two reached a medium-sized city, the fluctuation on the nameplate of Long Chen was obviously larger, and a vague pointer gradually appeared, pointing to a direction. The 2 men took out the map and went straight to another human city. Every time they arrived at a city, Emon Yen would buy some people from the local area to help hold up signs and guide the dragon blood soldiers to Haotian City. After transmitting 7 or 8 cities in succession, Long Chen can finally determine the location of Xia Chen and Guo Ran. They are in another Terran city, Inue City, which is comparable to Haotian City. Inue City is not the Silver Moon City in Daochen District. It has a very long history. It is said that the Aborigines in the city are the descendants of the ancient Inue clan. Although the Inue clan cannot be compared with Jiuli, Zixue, and Tiantong, they also have the power of terror and strong blood inheritance. However, Inue City is not as exclusive as Haotian City. As long as the big families are willing to abide by the rules of Inue City, all ethnic groups can enter Inue City. Although Inue City is also the city dominated by the Terrans, it has no contact with Haotian City. The master of Haotian City is so powerful and even looks down on Inue City. It's a little annoying. There is a wild place away from Inue City. The transmission array is isolated. We need to take a detour. Emon Yen looked at the map and frowned. In that wilderness, the space has been destroyed, the order is disordered, and there is no way to construct the space passage. If you want to pass, you can either walk or make a detour. It takes at least a few days to walk through, and 2 or 3 days to make a detour. Can you let them come over? After all, The tomb is closer to Haotian City. Emon Yen asked. Dragon Dust shook his head and said, We'd better go there. It's very likely that they also carry many dragon blood soldiers. I'm not sure about their transmission like this. Emon Yen saw the Dragon Dust said so, and nodded. If they were a team of people, it was really inconvenient. At the same time, when they transmit, they can also leave clues in the major cities to guide the dragon blood soldiers to come to meet. It is not a waste of time. In one day, the two transferred nearly 100 cities. Even with their accomplishments, they were sent to vomit. The taste of space distortion and inversion was very uncomfortable. If it was someone else, it would have been unbearable. However, it is gratifying that the two people are getting closer and closer to Silver Moon City. If they insist on sticking to it, they can arrive. But in the Dragon Dust still needs 7 times to transmit, can arrive at Silver Moon City. The nameplate of Dragon Dust suddenly flickers. What? Emon Yen asked. Long Chen's face changed slightly. Guoran, they are in trouble. Let's speed up. Normally, when they reach a city, they have to pay a fee and queue up. Now they receive an emergency call from Guoran and Xiaqin. Long Chen and Emon Yen jump into a city and send them directly. Who dares to stop them? Almost to a city, it is necessary to put down several strong men. 2 people can be at ease transmission. Finally Silver Moon City is in sight, but Long Chen found that Guoran has left Silver Moon City. Only summer mornings still stay in Silver Moon City. When Long Chen and Emon Yen arrive at Silver Moon City, they are not greeting him in summer morning, but a group of dragon blood soldiers. Boss, it's not good. Guoran and Xiaqin get news that Yu Shaoqian is besieged by powerful demons. They can't wait for you. They chase after you first and leave us here to wait for you and exchange nameplates with you. The dragon blood soldier was a little anxious. Yu Xiaqian? Long Chen's heart leaps wildly. Yu Shaoqian is the person of the first demon clan. The mark of suppressing the devil on her forehead is the killer of the demon clan. What the demons hate most is the Sure Demon clan. When they find Yu Shaoqian, they will fight with all their strength. Boss, give you this nameplate. This is the nameplate of Summer Morning Boss. The induction range is stronger. Let's exchange. You go to save people quickly. The dragon blood soldier quickly gave his nameplate to Long Chen. Long Chen exchanged the nameplate with the dragon blood soldier, but he didn't care to say that there were more than 100 dragon blood soldiers here. Dragon Dust left each of them the fruits of heaven and asked them to take them secretly after they went back. He told them to pay attention to their safety and look for other soldiers in the city when they were free. At the same time, he left them a large amount of money for them to use first. After arranging everything, he went into the city with Emon Yen. As soon as he entered the city, he saw a group of people blocking Long Chen's way. Get out of here if you don't want to die. A roar of dragon dust, shaking the sky, violent killing intention, people shudder. Those people are the strong ones of the demon beast family. They want to challenge Long Chen. As a result, the eardrums roar with the sound of Long Chen's voice, and their souls are almost shattered, so they are afraid to move. Who's making a lot of noise here? A group of patrolling strong men yelled, but when the group saw the murderous eyes of Long Chen, they were too scared to go on. At this time, Long Chen is eager to save people. No matter who dares to stand in the way, he will never show mercy. Dragon Dust and Emon Yen violently squeeze into the transmission array. Originally, there were several powerful monsters in the transmission array ready to be transported away. As a result, they were grabbed by the neck by Long Chen and Emon Yen and thrown out like garbage. The Dragon Dust directly started the transmission array and sent it out in the eyes of countless people. Boom! Long Chen smashed the void with one punch, and the 2 people tumbled out of the void. Long Chen looked at the nameplate and nodded his head. It's not far, go. Long Chen borrows the transmission array and quits midway. As long as the direction is good, it can save a lot of time. Emon Yen took out the map, looked at it, and said, This is the edge of the Demon Forbidden Area. It seems that they have entered the depths of the Demon Forbidden Area in summer morning. A fierce battle is inevitable. Then we'd better wipe out this forbidden area. Long Chen looks at the nameplate in his hand. Now it is not far away from Guoran and Xiachen. They start their bodies and fly away quickly. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3797, Boom. Endless chains rise from the sky, covering the void, sealing the sky and locking the earth, covering the three figures. Among the three figures, one was wearing armor, and the other was holding the seal script. It was Guoran and Xiachen. At this time, they were all covered with blood. Beside them, there was a slender woman with long hair. The woman has bright eyes, bright teeth and long hair, just like a banished immortal. On her forehead, there is a rune lit up. Her body is full of righteous qi. She is holding a sharp sword. She is trying her best to resist the attack of a powerful demon clan. The woman is no other than Yu Shaoqian, the first demon clan. Yu Shaoqian holds a long sword, and the sword spirit is surging, forcing the powerful people in front of her to regress. The strong man in front of Yu Shaoqian is a monster full of evil spirit. He has green hair all over his body and has two heads. His eyes are full of ferocity. His mouth is full of blood and his teeth are sharp, just like serrations. It makes people feel creepy. With no weapons, he resisted Yu Xiaoqian's attack with bare hands. Yu Xiaoqian's long sword, chopped on his body, made a jingling sound, just like cutting on steel. The strong man of double-headed demon clans seems to be extremely afraid of the breath on Moon Shaoqian. Although he can't hurt him with sharp sword, he doesn't dare to press Yu Shaoqian too hard. Xiachen and Guoran were surrounded by numerous powerful men, including monsters, blood clans, Hades, and many strong Terrans. Among the strong men of the human race, there were assassin killers in Blood Killing Hall and Jiuyou Hall, and Tianjiao in the clothes of Shengdan Hall. Thousands of them besieged them, and they were killed in a mess. There are too many enemies, and all of them are masters. They are either the supreme immortal king or the powerful god. They have been fighting for a long time, consuming terror. It seems that they are starting to lose their support. Not far from the battlefield, there was a big red-haired man with horrible breath. He was looking at the whole battlefield coldly. He looked like a tiger waiting to be hunted. His eyes were frightening. If Long Chen was here, he would recognize that this man was no one else, but Yin Changxing, the most powerful man in the Shengdan Hall. Yin Changxing did not move, but with a group of people standing on the edge of the battlefield, as if waiting for something. On the periphery of the battlefield, they were surrounded by the boundless powerful demons. Their hands were sealed and their magic qi rose. They formed chains and began to block the heaven and earth. Before the formation of the demon hunting array, you can run away, or it will be too late. The month small Qian looks at the sky chain dense, can't help but anxious tunnel. Sister Xiaoqian, don't worry. The boss is coming. Xia Chen's seal script glows in his hand, continuously resisting the attacks of several strong men and shouting. This is a trap. They are intentional. Can't you see that? The man with red hair is waiting for the dragon dust to come. Yu Shaoqian anxiously tunnel. Just now, after Yin Changxing arrived, someone pointed to Xia Chen and Demon Yen and said a few words to Yin Changxing, which was seen by Yu Shaoqian. Last time, Yin Changxing suffered a great loss in the hands of Long Chen, and was also stolen by Long Chen. It was considered a great shame. He ordered to launch the whole power of the Holy Dan Temple to search for the trace of dragon dust, but he was run away by the dragon dust several times. However, the power of the Holy Dan Hall is very huge, and the dragon dust is a famous figure in the purple sky. It is not difficult to get the details of the dragon dust. Not only Long Chen himself, but also the people who have something to do with Long Chen are listed. They can't find Long Chen, but they find Xia Chen and Guoran. However, Xia Chen and Guoran ran out of Yingyue City after hearing that the powerful demons were fighting fiercely with the demons. As soon as they came out, the people from Shengdan Hall also came out. When Xia Chen and Guoran were trapped, the people in the Shengdan Hall informed Yin Changxing to come. When Yin Changxing arrived, he directly ordered to surround the three people without killing them. To everyone's surprise, even the demons did not dare to disobey his orders, and began to build the sky demon hunting array. Don't worry, as long as the boss comes, everything will be easy. Guoran yelled. At this time, the runes on his armor began to dim. Along the way, he killed too many people. The powerful man of light god respected the territory killed more than a dozen, and the energy consumption of battle armor was very large. However, his magic dragon armor is very strong, fighting for such a long time, without a trace of damage. Unfortunately, there are too many strong people here. They and Xia Chen are unable to break through with Yu Shaoqian. Now they can only support and wait for Long Chen's rescue. Ha ha ha, it's funny. They're all turtles in a jar. Are you still dreaming of leaving alive? Do you want to laugh me to death? The strong man of the two-headed demon family laughed. The two skulls make sounds at the same time, and the sound overlaps, just like a row of steel needles into a person's eardrum. Girl, we have chased you for more than 10 days and sacrificed many strong men. Now you should also close your eyes. Tell me where your tribe is, and I can protect you from the pain of soul refining by corpse demons. Otherwise, you will not only suffer from the suffering of soul refining, but also become my puppet and a tool for catharsis. Haha, I don't know where I should start in the face of a beauty like you. That double-headed demon clan strong person, a smile, in the eye is full of the meaning of immorality. Damned monster, if it wasn't for a series of battles, would you have the courage to speak out in front of me? Yu Zioqian's silver teeth clenched, long sword attacks several moves, will that double-headed demon's strong force to retreat, let his ugly face away from his own sum. It turns out that Yu Shaoqian needs to complete a special robbery when she enters the 3000 world. She wants to fully awaken her forehead seal in the natural calamity, so that she can condense the special Tiandao crown of the original demons. The fastest way to awaken the seal is to kill more demons, especially the powerful ones Tianjiao. Killing them in the disaster will speed up the awakening of the seal. Therefore, Yu Shaoqian ventured into a forbidden area of a demon clan to cross the robbery. As a result, almost all the people who took the robbery were destroyed. Only 2 people succeeded in crossing the robbery. One was Yu Shaoqian, and the other was the double-headed monster in front of her. The two fight in the natural calamity, killing inseparable. When the end of the disaster, the divine seal on Yuexiaqian's forehead awakens the sacred aura, and immediately produces a huge suppression on the double-headed monster. As a result, she is killed by Yu Shaoqian and flies away in confusion. The powerful demons also began to encircle Yu Shaoqian on a large scale, and even resorted to self-mutilation such as blood curse to pollute Yuexiaqian's divine seal glory, so as to weaken Yu Zioqian's restraint against them. As a result, after more than 10 days of chasing and killing, the demons have buried their bodies for hundreds of millions of li, but they have been fighting a war of attrition against Yu Shaoqian. After resting for a period of time, the double-headed monster, like the maggot of tarsal bones, chased Yu Shaoqian and did not give her time to recover. Finally, a battle between trapped animals continued here. Damned first demons, you shouldn't live in this world and talk about me? They'll take off your clothes first, and see if you can still dress up again, the double-headed monster roared, and suddenly the whole body of evil gas burst out. She killed her under the light of Moon Shaoqian, and her claws were flying, as fast as the wind and as fast as lightning. Qi Yu Zioqian's long sword quickly blocked, and at the same time, she was backward, but she had been exhausted after days of fighting. One could not dodge, and one sleeve was torn off by a double-headed monster. On the lotus root arm, he also drew 3 bloodstains by his long fingernails. The blood dripped slowly on the ground, like a little plum blossom. The double-headed monster, with one hit, swung his sleeve and smelled it on his nose. His face appeared a gloomy smile. This is just the beginning. Enjoy it slowly. The double-headed monster once again pounces on Yu Shaoqian. Guoran and Xia Chen in the distance are very angry. They can't keep it. At the same time, they roar to help Yu Shaoqian. They start to fight hard, and those strong people are shocked. Bang! Suddenly, Xia Chen and Guoran burst into an air wall, and they were bounced back. The power of faith? Xia Chen and Guoran were shocked and saw Yin Changxing standing in front of them. Ha ha ha! At this time, under the continuous attack of two-headed monsters in the distance, Yu Shaoqian finally let out a flaw. The double-headed monster, with a big claw-like hand, grabbed her collar straight. "Fuck you." In the void, thunder rings, a dark shadow emerges from the sky, and the world is full of terror, and a big hand is severely slapped on the face of the double-headed monster. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3798 Boss. Guaran and Xiachen exclaimed in surprise, which made heaven and earth tremble and change color forever. Only dragon dust could have it. Boom! Long Chen's big hand slapped the double-headed monster's face with a bang. The double-headed monster flew out like a meteor and crashed into the earth. The earth was smashed into a huge pit, boundless earth waves and rolling away in all directions. At this time, the dragon dust, in his eyes, is full of cold, killing intention. His long hair swings with the wind, just like a god of death who wants to kill for 9 days. Dragon dust, looking at the back of Longchen, Yu Xiaoqian's eyes were moist in an instant. The figure that she had been dreaming about day and night finally appeared again. Dragon dust slowly turned around, looking at the beautiful face of Yu Shaoqian. Tears kept rolling down, a pain in Longchen's heart. "Shaoqian, I'm sorry to have wronged you." Longchen wants to comfort Shaoqian, but in the middle, her voice chokes. "In the First World War of Tianwu, we parted in life and death. We met again as if we were separated from each other. We met each other many times in our dreams, but we were disappointed when we woke up. The pain of missing is beyond the imagination of outsiders." Although Long Chen is an indomitable hero and a brave warrior, he is no different from ordinary people in the face of his confidant. Yu Shaoqian shakes her head desperately. She wants to say something, but she finds that she can't say anything and her tears flow out. It seems that she can only vent her feelings in this way. "Long Chen, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Today, you'll see where you're going." Just at this time, Yin Changxing, who just stopped Guaran and Xiachen, broke down and rushed over with a long gun in his hand. Yin Changsheng's hatred of Longchen has gone deep into the bone marrow. At this time, he has been promoted to the immortal king. His faith is more and more strong, and his breath is more powerful than before. I don't know how many times. When Yin Changsheng's breath broke out, the temperature between heaven and earth rose in an instant, and the space was distorted. You could see the endless flame runes flowing around him, just like worshipping him. Guaran and Xiachen were surprised. Although they knew that Yin Changxing was a terrible guy, they still didn't expect that he was so scared that people could not get close to him before the vision was exposed. Boom! At this time, the earth burst to pieces, and the double-headed monster rushed out of the ground. To Xiachen's and Guaran's shock, this guy was slapped hard by dragon dust. He didn't even have a scar on his face, just like nobody. Seeing that Longchen has to face the siege of Yin Changxing and two-headed monsters, Yu Xiaoqian's eyes are full of worry. Longchen's big hand gently touches Yu Xiaoqian's bright and clean cheek. The touching touch makes Longchen's heart melt. "Don't be afraid, leave everything to me, believe me." Dragon dust grinned, just like the sun, so brilliant, let people feel warm. Yu Shaoqian nodded, tears sliding down her cheek, but her eyes with a smile. Infected by the dragon dust, she seems to see invincible dragon dust back. "Corpse plague, get out of my way. This man is mine." Yin Changxing shouts. Obviously he wants to fight with Long Chen alone, a snow before shame. "Who do you think you are? To give you some face in the Holy Dan Temple, do you still start to give orders? What kind of thing are you? Dare to intervene in Laozi's battle and kill you together?" The two-headed monster sneered. "Looking for death?" Yin Changxing was furious. He was the most powerful man in the world and the successor of the future orthodoxy of Shengdan Hall. He was so arrogant that he became angry. He snorted angrily, suddenly his body accelerated, and he wanted to kill the dragon dust before the corpse was killed. "You're a piece of shit, and you're looking for shit everywhere. Are you in the shit?" At this time, a lazy voice came. And then Yin Changxing saw the appearance of a humble spade and slapped it on his head. "What are you? Get out of here." Yin Changsheng was very angry, and the rune of his spear lit up. The power of faith poured into the spear and stabbed at the shovel. Boom! To everyone's surprise, the seemingly inconspicuous shovel bumped into the long gun and made a tremendous noise, and sparks splashed, which blocked Yin Changsheng's attack. In the void, a ripple spreads out, revealing Emo Nian's figure. Emo Nian shoulders his shovel on his shoulder, points his left hand at the sky, squints at his opponent, flies with long hair, flutters his clothes and robes, and is full of coquettish. He says with pride, Wuliang Palace in front of Wuliang Mountain, Wuliang Temple outside Wuliang Gate. Tianjiao has no way to pursue his dream. Once he meets Emo Nian, he becomes empty. Guoran and Xiachen almost couldn't believe their eyes when they saw Emo Nian appear. When Emo Nian recited a poem, Guoran almost knelt down, his eyes were full of worship. Look at people, look at other people, the cultivation and the skill of pretending to force are increasing day by day. Even the poetry is completely different from before, and it becomes more and more coquettish. After listening to his poems, everyone has an impulse to kill him. This is the real pretending force. I said this poem is so familiar. Before the gate, there were some nerves talking about it. The person who said it was him? He was Emo Nian, who was chased by numerous doors, but still at large. Is that guy who specializes in digging tombs, smoking with morality, doing bad things, and losing his best? He was not killed yet? Good guy. It's a miracle that this guy has offended so many forces and can live to this day. There are many strong people in the scene, whether it is Blood-Killing Hall, Juyo Hall, Holy Dan Hall, or other strong people. Many people have heard of the name of Emo Nian. Emo Nian is a very diligent person. Many ancestral graves of clan forces have been visited by him. Emo Nian is like a street mouse. Everyone shouts and kills. Although Emo Nian has not had many amazing wars, his reputation is not small. He is a typical existence that has been forced, never killed, and has a tenacious vitality that is unbelievable. Now he actually appeared here, stopped Yin Changsheng's way. Is this to launch a war of astonishment? It is necessary to know that although Emo Nian is not small in fame, it is all bad names. It is said that the most powerful skill of Emo Nian is to escape life, but he has never heard of him. He has any amazing combat skills. Therefore now, when I see Emo Nian unfold its momentum, everyone is shocked. You are Emo Nian, a cowardly tomb robber. I heard that you have a good ability to escape life. However, in front of me, you have no chance to escape. Yin Changsheng saw that Emo Reed had a name. His eyes were fighting and fighting. His gun pointed to Emo Nian slowly. The power of flame began to diffuse in the heaven and earth, and the huge breath locked the ink reading. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3799, I run for my life? Yes, but I ran for my life, not my own, but others. If you don't run for your life, you have to kill someone. If you kill someone, you have to bury someone. After burying someone, you have to go beyond your means. It's too troublesome. But you are different. I've heard your name. It seems that you are very famous. Anyway, I haven't had a serious fight with others. Today, let's take you to achieve the first battle of fame in the fairyland. Emo Nian's suddenly figure move, the whole person disappeared. Challenge me? I'm afraid this will be the last battle of your fairyland. Yin Changsheng sneered. He didn't move his body and didn't turn back. He stabbed his spear at his back. Just after the spear was pierced out, Emo Nian's figure just appeared. Yin Changsheng, like a prophet, judged the location of Emo Nian. Guoran and Xiachen exclaimed. Emo Nian was stabbed by a long gun in an instant. However, at this time, the sneer on Yin Changsheng's face disappeared, and his figure flashed. Boom! Unfortunately, he still did not avoid a shovel from a dead corner, and was beaten out by a shovel. Emo Nian's figure appeared in the eyes of countless people. He laughed. What? I can pretend to be forced, but you will be dangerous. Emo Nian finished and turned back to the dragon dust and called, This guy gave it to me, the 2 heads, to you. After Emon Yen finished, the man disappeared again. When he reappeared, he had caught up with Yin Changxing, who was flying backwards. The shovel was held high, and with one blow, the two people's figures rushed to hundreds of thousands of miles away in an instant. And at this time, the corpse plague rushed to the dragon dust. Long Dust Big Hand caressed a month-small Qian's cheek, grinned, pushed her to Guoran and Xiachen's direction. When Long Chen turned his head to look at the corpse, the smile on his face disappeared in an instant. Instead, it was an endless killing intention. At that moment, black ripples appeared in the eyes of Long Chen, which was the sign of Long Chen's killing intention and wandering on the edge of losing control. In his life, Long Chen couldn't see her own woman hurt. At this time, she saw the corpse and the divine ring behind her. The star sea appeared, and now the purple air rose to the sky. Humble people, without that woman's mark, you are not worthy to lift my shoes. The corpse plague roared, and his green hair became smart. At the same time, a dark world appeared behind him. It seemed that there were countless fierce eyes peeping into the world. Before that, the corpse was boxed by Long Chen. That's because he was fighting with Yu Shaoqian with all his strength. The mark of demon suppression on Yu Shaoqian greatly restricted his cultivation. Now when Yu Shaoqian leaves, his breath breaks out, and his pressure is no worse than Yin Changxing. Moreover, he has a rotten breath, which seems to corrode the laws of heaven and earth. The full force of the outbreak of corpse plague, like an ancient corpse crawling out of the cemetery, with endless resentment and endless power of death. Dragon dust, be careful. This guy is not a man at all. He is an Archean corpse. He is a corpse demon path practitioner. He lives in this corpse. The voice of Emon Yen in the distance reminds Long Chen. Emon Yen has been living in the tomb all year round, so he can see the details of this guy at a glance. However, those who don't know it look at the corpse plague in shock. No wonder that the smell of the corpse plague is so strange that he turns out to be a corpse. Bang! Suddenly, there was a thunderbolt in the distance. The fierce battle between Yin Changxing and Emon Yen finally opened fire. Yin Changxing launched the vision of heaven and ignited the power of faith. Meanwhile, Emon Yen also summoned the vision of the infinite heavenly palace. The shovel was replaced by a long bow. After the two men made a full attack, the void was pierced, and the two figures rose to the sky, and the battlefield was moved to the ninth heaven. Worry about yourself. How can I see you escape today? The voice of Yin Changsheng's sneer came from Jyotian. What are you? Today, we dug a pit and buried you Mo Nianling hum. Boom boom. The two figures fight fiercely over the 9 days. People can't see them. They can only see the ripple of terror spreading ceaselessly, and the stars in the sky are constantly swaying. This is a bloody battle between the needles and the wheat. At this time, the corpse plague wrapped by the whole Bodis death gas has rushed to the dragon dust, and the green light flashed on the hands, and a fist hit the dragon dust. The corpse demon clan was also a big clan in the Archean period, and could be ranked into the top 100 among the 10,000 families. However, you once provoked the Tiantong clan. After being cursed by the Tiantong clan, you have become a group of humble reptiles. For hundreds of millions of years, you can only humbly hide in the ground and survive. Now you are ready to move again. It seems that the curse has failed. However, do you think it's time for you to turn over? Then you are very wrong. As long as I have dragon dust, you demons will never turn over. With a roar, the dragon dust was covered with golden scales. On top of the golden scales, there were purple lines. That's why the purple gas in Longchen's body was too full and strengthened the dragon's blood and body again. Boom! Longchen smashed his fist on the corpse's fist with a loud noise. The sky and the earth shook. In the billowing air wave, the two men fell back at the same time. The fists of the two men were as if they were made of iron and steel. When they collided, they even made the sound of gold and iron. This huge physical force made countless people feel frightened. Before, Corpse Kai fought against the realm artifact with his bare hands, which made people feel extremely frightened. He thought that his body was so fleshy that he was absolutely out of the world. Now, Long Chen's fist and the two of them are even, which shows that Longchen's body has reached that level. How can it not be shocking? After Mo Nian reminded people that this corpse plague controlled the body of an ancient strong man. Living beings of the archaic era, the corpse was immortal after such a long time. It shows that the owner of the corpse is too terrible to imagine. However, Longchen could fight with Tai Guchang's corpse, which was a cross-era collision. People saw that he was carrying a huge long knife behind his back, but he was still fighting with the corpse with his bare hands. Obviously, Longchen had his own pride and didn't care to cut him with weapons. It's just the power of ants. Even if your strength is increased by 10 times, you still can't destroy this body. I will let you understand how terrible the flesh body in ancient times is. After a hard fight with Longchen, Corpse Tsai sneered and stepped into the void, so he killed Longchen again. What was shocking was that when he punched again, a black halo appeared all over his body, and his breath soared a lot. Is such a terrible attack merely a tentative one? Someone exclaimed. Fengfu star, open. In the starry sea behind the dragon dust, a star blooms like the sun's light, and the power of the dragon dust gushes out like the tide, breaking the void with one blow and hitting the corpse plague. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3800. Boom, there was another thunderbolt, and the two fought hard again. The power of this punch was stronger than that of the previous one. After one punch, the two men separated again, and the corpse plague separated again, and the breath of the corpse was lifted by a large section again, as if his body contained infinite power. Jade Hengxing, open. Longchen stepped on the void and hit him with a fist. The breath of this fist soared again. Si Ming Xing, open. Gong Qixing, open. Xingguan Star, open. Hellgate Star, open. Boom. Each time the dragon dust blows a fist, the breath will soar a large section. The violent force starts to make the sky roar and the earth crack. In the starry sea behind the dragon dust, there is an endless flow of purple gas, and the heaven and earth shake together, making the sun and moon dim. At first, Corpse Tsai didn't pay attention to the dragon dust. When the breath of dragon dust rose, he also followed him. But when the gate of the underworld opened, an unstoppable force sent him flying backwards. Corpse plague has been repulsed. Is dragon dust's body stronger than Archean corpse? There are demons strong exclaimed, cannot believe their own eyes. Boom. Longchen hit 6 punches and opened the 6 stars. Fortunately, there was a strong man like Corpse Plague who could help him out. Otherwise, it would be difficult to open the 6 stars in one breath if he had no target. The corpse was shaken back, and his 2 heads roared at the same time. With his roar, the green hair on his body glowed, and in the vision behind him, countless pairs of eyes lit up at the same time. In these eyes, there are all kinds of bloody lights shining on the body of the corpse. Through the layers of green hair, we can see the Dao Dao corpse spots on the corpse. In each corpse spot, there is a symbol, which exudes a terrible breath. No, back off. Some people exclaimed. They were shocked to find that the earth under their feet had changed, the lush rapidly blackened, and the black fog spread rapidly around. Originally, on the earth, there are many bodies of strong men. All of them were killed by Xia Chen and Guoran. Among them there is no lack of supreme Tianjiao. When the black soil diffused, these Tianjiao's corpses decayed instantly and quickly merged into the black soil, as if swallowed up by a strange force and integrated with the earth. The whole world seemed to be a graveyard, full of the breath of death and decay, which was terrible and frightening, and could not be approached. The people were afraid of the terrible breath, and they quickly regressed. Xia Chen and Guoran protected Yu Shaoqian, but did not retreat, because the decadent breath had been isolated by the power of the stars of dragon dust and could not hurt the place behind him. Dragon dust, isn't it? It's good. It's interesting. But do you think it can compete with my corpse demons? You are still too naive. Boom! The corpse disaster hits the void with one blow, and a large space collapses. The whole world is twisted. The terrifying power frightens everyone. The fist of Corpse Plague actually oppresses the law. The rune of corpse spot on his body is circulating, and the endless violent breath is released from the corpse spot. The breath has a savage flavor. It seems that people can see the horrible corner of the ancient corpse controlled by corpse plague. The road is in decline and the law is incomplete. You want to challenge me? You have to pay for your ignorance. The body I got is the body of Yin Yang blood devil in Taigu period. It is a legendary strong man with the purest blood of blood demon. Although it has been dead for hundreds of millions of years, the original blood has not dried up. I have been with it since I was a child. I nourish it with spirit essence blood, and finally integrate with it. I have just been promoted to the immortal king. I can finally try to activate his original blood. Today, I will open your eyes to see how terrible the strong men in Taigu period are. The two heads of corpse plague opened their mouths at the same time, and his 4 eyes were staring at the dragon dust. At this time, he was entangled with corpse gas, like a fierce ghost roaring. Suddenly, the corpse plague moved. His body did not move, but just moved his arm. On his arm, countless corpse spots glowed like stars. One punch pierced the heaven and earth, and the space where the dragon dust was located instantly turned into nothingness. What? Everyone was shocked. The blow was too sudden. The location of the dragon dust was smashed into a black whirlpool. The black whirlpool devoured the heaven and earth. The fierce roaring sound contained the power to destroy the world. Looking at the black whirlpool, people seemed to be sucked into it. Even Guoran and Xiachen were shocked. He didn't expect the corpse plague to be so terrible. However, such a terrible blow, but hit an empty, dragon dust body as blinking general, appeared in the right side of the vortex. It is only a few feet away from the edge of the whirlpool. It seems that it is only 1 step away from the edge of the whirlpool. However, the whirlpool roars, just like a dog tied with a chain. If it lets it bark, it can't bite the dragon dust. For a moment, countless people were shocked to see the two men. One attack was like a thunderbolt, which did not give people any chance to react. The other was like a ghost. No one could see how he avoided the attack. One attack and one flash show the amazing reaction ability of the two men. This is a kind of fighting instinct, which is the experience honed by countless times on the edge of death. So it is. Only when the strong man in the archaic times had chaos in his blood, could he produce such a rune and raise such a physical body. Long Chen looked at the rune on corpse Kai's body with a sudden color in his eyes. The runes in the corpse spot contain the breath of archaic times. From this breath, dragon dust feels the breath of chaos. In the ancient times, the atmosphere of chaos was still very abundant, and only in this environment could such terrible creatures be born. Xia Guhong once said that the living beings in this era are far inferior to those in ancient times, and the ancient times are not as good as those in the archaic times, and the archaic times are not as good as the chaotic times. It's not that the living beings are degenerating, but the environment of the 9 days and 10 places is changing, getting worse and worse. Now, not only the chaotic chi has disappeared, but also the aura has become thinner and thinner, and the way of heaven has become incomplete. Therefore, Xia Guhong once said that it is very difficult for the present people to surpass the sages, not because the present people are degenerating, but because the world is degenerating and people can't go against the heaven. Archaic times are not what you can imagine. The demons of that era were the masters of the world. Although there is only a trace of chaos in this demon corpse, the power of the origin will not be extinguished. When the sky wall of the 3,000 worlds is torn and the air of chaos is pouring in, the source of chaos in my body will be completely activated. At that time, no one in the 3,000 worlds will be my opponent. It's a pity that you can't see the scene of my 3,000 worlds. The breath of chaos in my body is enough to kill you thousands of times. Boom! In the vision behind the corpse plague, endless eyes are fixed on the dragon dust. This time he learned to be good. He directly locked the dragon dust with the vision, and did not give the dragon dust a chance to dodge. The corpse plague broke to drink, and the whole Bodis corpse spot lit up again. One punch pierced through the heaven and earth, and killed the dragon dust. Purple K star, open. When the dragon dust stopped drinking, The purple K star at the bottom of the elixir field suddenly vibrated, and a purple sun lit up in the vision behind the dragon dust. Boom! When the dragon dust lights up the purple K star, summoning a complete 7-star battle body. The purple gas in the dragon dust body is instantly ignited, and a purple air wave rises. The corpse plague that rushes quickly is hit by the purple gas and hums and flies out directly. What? People's eyes are about to stare out. They can't believe to look at the dragon dust. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3801 Behind the Dragon Dust, 7 stars in the starry sea light up, just like 7 suns. Surrounded by 7 stars, the endless power is released. The purple gas in the star sea is ignited, and the purple flame blooms, which ignites the sky. Boom! Purple gas burning, flames soared into the sky, only a purple light column rushed into the sky, the whole world was covered by purple light. But the dragon dust is covered with purple holy light, such as purple blood battle body, standing between heaven and earth, arrogant, overlooking heaven and earth. Xia Chen and Guoran were overjoyed by the smell of dragon dust. The eldest one was the eldest, who never let them down. The dragon dust in the advanced fairyland was once again in a king's position, above all the arrogance of heaven. In the past, the violent power of corpse plague made countless people feel desperate. But now, the purple air on Longchen's body is entangled, like the arrival of the Emperor of Heaven. Standing on the red earth, the corpse plague seems so small in front of him for a moment. The corpse demon leads the way, 10,000 ways return to the Yuan. The corpse plague was shocked by the breath of dragon dust. He was frightened and angry and roared. The vision behind him was swallowed up by the corpse spots on his body. The corpse spots on his body were like eyes, and his body was full of strange breath. Boom! Facing the full fire of dragon dust, corpse Tsai still killed him without fear. Longchen opened his arms and roared up to the sky. The sound of the roar was like a dragon's chant, and his whole bodice purple chi suddenly soared again. Before the breath, already enough amazing, but this time, the breath of dragon dust soared several times again. Before the release of breath, such as reservoir flood discharge, but now, like a river burst, no trace of retention. Sea purple ripple, formed a barrier, rapid outward, full of heaven and earth. Bang! The corpse plague was hit by purple and rolled out like a meteor. The void was broken through, and the rune of the road was broken. A long tail was held behind it, which broke through countless mountains and plowed the earth into a startling gully. Even Guoran and Xiachen were shocked. Although they knew that Longchen must be powerful, they did not expect that Longchen could be so powerful that it was simply abnormal. Longchen clenched his hands and his breath roared. It was like hundreds of millions of purple dragons around him. The heaven and earth were shaking and the road was moaning. The explosion of dragon dust seemed to frighten the 3,000 world, and the way of heaven was yielding to him. When the dragon dust launched the 7-star battle, the purple gas in his body began to burn. After burning, the purple gas became more and more condensed. The purple gas in Longchen's meridians was compressed into liquid from the gas, which was in circulation like purple blood. When the purple gas turns into purple blood, it seems that there is an endless force in the body of dragon dust. If this power is not released, he will explode and die. Therefore, the dragon dust roared up to the sky to release its breath, not to attack the corpse plague, but had to release. When the fury power is released, dragon dust feels that the turbid gas and impurities accumulated in the body are taken out of the body by the violent power, and the whole person becomes spotless, and the purple gas is more and more pure. The purple flame around the dragon dust is no longer violent. The breath tends to be gentle, and the star sea behind it also starts to operate normally. However, after the 7-star battle body condenses, the star sea's running route is completely different from that in the past. During the operation of Xinghai, endless purple gas is produced and poured into the body of dragon dust, which nourishes the body of dragon dust and provides continuous power. When the breath of dragon dust slowly falls back and is no longer violent, the dragon dust feels the endless power to return. Before the release of violent power, because he was unable to control, had to release, but now the power, all the power he can control. Is this the power of the 7-star battle? The power to fear yourself? Long Chen looked at his fist, the purple chi was twined on it, and the purple blood in the meridians was even penetrated from the skin. This also means that the power of the 7-star battle body is too strong, and the purple chi turns into purple blood, but the meridians can't completely seal the power of purple blood. Part of the power poured out. To put it bluntly, the dragon dust at this time is in a state of air leakage. But even though he was in a state of air leakage, the power of destroying heaven and earth in Long Chen's body had already made him feel excited. At this time, Corpse Tsai didn't know where to kill him. At this time, his face was distorted to deformation, and he was shaken away by the breath of dragon dust twice in a row. This is a great shame to him. 9-turn corpse magic fist, corpse plague roared, and the corpse spots on his fist lit up, and there were lines pouring into his fist on the whole body. The fist was like a big sun, and the magic light was blooming, and the breath of chaos was gushing. Boom! There was a shocking explosion. To everyone's surprise, Corpse Zao's fist hit Long Chen's chest. Long Chen didn't do anything to block her. Yu Xiaoqian was so scared that she covered her lips with her hands. She couldn't understand why Long Chen didn't hide. Long Chen's chest was hit by a blow of corpse plague, but Long Chen did not move. The clothes on his chest turned into butterflies and flew down in all directions. This is a world-shaking blow, but Long Chen's body does not seem to have any damage except his clothes are broken. At that moment, everyone is shocked. Corpse Tsai looked at his fist in shock. His all-out fist didn't do any harm to Long Chen. You know, it was a punch with chaos. This chaotic chi is a trace of chaos left in the corpse of the ancient devil. He is not willing to use it at all. Once he uses it, he will be able to run around the world without any resistance. But today, with his all-out fist, Long Chen did not dodge and let him hit him in front of his chest. He was completely dumbfounded. What archaic evil corpse, what chaotic gas, are deceptive things. Long Chen's big hand swung round and slapped on the face of Corpse Tsai, who was still in shock. The big face of Corpse Tsai suddenly deformed and his head was flattened. The huge force shocked him to roll out. Run quickly, the strong ones of the demons yelled wildly, because this time was different from the first 2 times. The body of the corpse was directly smashed by the strong demons. Boom! However, the speed of corpse plague is too fast. When they want to escape, it is already late, and the body of corpse plague bumps into the crowd of demon strongmen. In the sound of people's panic and scream, how many demon strongmen are broken by the violent power of Corpse Zao? What made them despair most was that the corpse pestilence was full of horrible poison gas, which spread. Countless powerful demons were eroded by the poison gas, and their bodies rapidly decayed and turned into decayed corpses. The strong demons, originally surrounded here, are now in chaos, but they can't care to stare at Yu Xiaoqian, Xia Chen and Guoran, and flee in all directions. Boom! Corpse plague roared. Just after climbing out of the earth, dragon dust had fallen from the sky and kicked it down. The bodies of corpse plague and dragon dust were used to the earth for a moment. Their figures disappeared and the earth rose rapidly, throwing the strong men on the earth into the air. Boom! The earth rose rapidly. After a few breaths, it exploded. The corpse's body flew out of the ground, but the posture was very strange. The back of the head was close to the heel, and the body seemed to be broken by someone. Go. The boss is really angry this time. Guoran and Summer Morning Eyes are full of excitement. Finally, they once again saw the invincible demeanor of the boss. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3802. The body of corpse plague flew out, and suddenly the figure in the sky flashed. People were shocked. They were shocked to find that dragon dust appeared in the void, waiting for him on the top of the corpse plague. What a quick body method, someone exclaimed. Boom! Long Chen jumped up in the air and kicked his foot on the belly of the corpse. Originally, The back of his head was close to the heel of the corpse, but he was kicked by the foot of dragon dust. His body suddenly folded back, and his head was close to his leg, falling at a faster speed. When dragon dust passed the meeting, a huge ripple appeared in the void. When the ripple spread, it tore the void and sent out a sharp sound explosion. Bang! The body of the corpse was kicked into the earth by the dragon dust, which made the whole world tremble. This power is terrible. For a while, everyone was in a daze. How terrible was the power shown by the corpse plague before? But in front of the dragon dust, he now became a sandbag, was beaten by the dragon dust, has no strength to fight back. Boom! The earth burst open, and the corpse plague rushed out of the ground again. To people's surprise, the corpse plague suffered such a terrible blow that it didn't have any damage to its body. It's so terrible. It's more tough than the realm artifact. The power of dragon dust is so fierce that the most powerful people, not to mention the punch, can shock people to death. It's terrible. It's really terrible. The name of the ancient demon corpse is worthy of its reputation, and the power of dragon dust is not inferior. Both of them are monsters. While people were talking about it in secret, Corpse Tsai stood in the void with 2 heads and 4 eyes looking at the dragon dust at the same time. His eyes were full of fierce colors. I can't imagine that you really have 2 sons, but then what? My body comes from the ancient times, and is nourished by the chaotic chi. My body is immortal. What can you do to me? Boom! As a result, he was hit by Long Chen on his head just after finishing his speech, and his head was deformed again with great force. However, what makes people feel frightened is that the corpse's body is extremely strange, and its ability to resist and fight is very strong, and its self-recovery ability is also extremely amazing. What can I do for you? I'll beat you into meat today. The dragon dust snorted coldly and waved his fists. Like a rainstorm, he smashed the corpse into the sky, covering the void. Boom boom. With each blow of Long Chen's fist, he has the power of hundreds of millions of June, and it hits the corpse plague, which is beaten like a dough and constantly deforms. However, after each deformation, his body recovered quickly. The power of dragon dust to destroy heaven and earth could not hurt his origin. Is that all you have? Stupid human beings, the corpse is beaten to fly disorderly, but in the mouth is still unceasingly mocking. Long Chen, don't be fooled by him. If he can't beat you, he will use his body to fight with you and consume your physical strength. Small Qian Hai voice reminds away. Yu Zioqian's warning immediately made countless people understand that corpse plague could not help but escape from the dragon dust. He wanted to use up the precious physical strength of dragon dust by virtue of his immortal body. When Long Chen's strength failed, he could take the opportunity to fight back. Shut up, bitch. Corpse Tsai was very angry. Just after drinking and swearing, he was hit in the face by the dragon dust and flew out with a bang. But this time, to our astonishment, the blow caused the corpse to collapse, and blood flowed slowly from the nose. People were stunned. Before Long Chen had punched so many fists, he didn't cause any substantial damage to the corpse. How could this insignificant blow make him have nosebleed? At this time, on the fist of dragon dust, there are a few stars, 1 by 1 twinkles, and the endless power of stars converges on the fist. This is the first time that Long Chen induced the power of stars to gather on his fist. Before, he only dared to lead the power of stars to Minghong Dao. Now his body has been greatly promoted, purple full, he dared to have a try. This idea comes from the attack of the 9-star descendant at the time of the natural calamity. He can condense the symbol of the 7-star battle body on his hands. He tried, but he did not dare to transfer the power of the 7 stars to his hands. He led the power of the star into the body to his fist. Long Chen has just formed a 7-star battle body, but his body can't fully adapt to it. When he makes a move, his strength will be scattered, and he will not be able to condense, and there will be air leakage. Although it looks powerful, it has not really exerted its power at all. But when the dragon dust began to lead the stars into the body, the strength gathered on the fist would not leak out. When the power was concentrated together, it was just a common punch, and the body of the corpse was destroyed. Why are you? The corpse plague was frightened and angry. A look of fear appeared in his eyes. At this time, the dragon dust had already rushed past. Poof! The speed of dragon dust is as fast as lightning. Although the corpse plague has evaded, it is still beaten by the dragon dust on the chin. Under the splash of blood light, the corpse plague's chin is directly broken, and the flesh and blood are flying. Ah! The other mouth of the corpse gave out a shrill scream. Poof! At this time, the stars on the left fist of Long Chen flew around, and a bang broke the head of the corpse. Disaster screamed by Long Chen with one blow, but it was like a sledgehammer hitting the watermelon. Is your mouth still cheap? Long Chen kicked his foot on the chest of the corpse plague, and the sound of bone fracture that made his teeth sour sounded. His chest collapsed and protruded from his back. His body was almost kicked through by the dragon dust, and the blood gushed out. The foot of dragon dust made the corpse plague's breath drop rapidly. Obviously, this foot gave him great trauma. Ignite all the purple gas and gather into a blow. All of a sudden, the voice of a strong dragon clan appeared in his mind. Master, this can't work. I can't control the strength of the 7-star battle, so I may get hurt myself. Dragon dust was startled. The strong man of the dragon clan even asked him to gather all his strength into one blow and burst out. You know, he is still in full swing now, and his purple chi is still above 80%. If he releases the remaining purple chi, he is afraid that he will die. There's no time to explain so much. If you do it, you can do it. I won't hurt you. The strong of the dragon race. After listening to the saying of the strong dragon dust, Long Chen can completely trust the strong one of the dragon clan. Although he knows that after such a strike, he will surely be injured, he still chooses to believe in the strong one of the dragon clan. Boom! The body of dragon dust explodes, and the purple gas all over the body bursts out again, which makes the whole person seem to be burning. At the same time, the meridians in Long Chen's body were compressed rapidly because there were too many purple chi stored in his body. If he wanted to burst out at one time, he had to go through a strong extrusion to pour out. When the dragon dust squeezed the purple chi, it produced a huge rebound force, and the meridians of the dragon dust even pricked. If it is usually, Long Chen will give up at this time, but the strong men of the dragon clan have spoken, and he can only bite his teeth and rush hard. At this time, the corpse gave out a cry of panic. He was shocked to find that he was locked in by the breath of dragon dust and couldn't move. His intuition told him that he was going to die soon. Blood buries all living beings, corpse demons sacrifice. The corpse plague roared, and his hands were sealed. Suddenly, the powerful demons on the scene exploded one by one and turned into endless blood mist. The blood fog was extracted by the corpse plague and formed a bloody shield in front of him. Corpse plague even used Ju-Fa to deprive the lives of tens of millions of strong people on the scene, and with their strength, they opened a life-protecting shield for themselves. At this time, Long Chen screamed, 999 stars above his fist lit up, and he hit the corpse with a blow. All the sounds in the world disappeared after this boxing, and people could only hear their own heartbeat. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3803, It's No Use. No matter how strong you are, you can't break the wall of life of tens of millions of people. Corpse plague roars. Bang! In response to him, it was Long Chen's star fist. One blow fell into the sky and 10,000 ways were torn. The bloody shield in front of Long Chen's fist was like paper paste, which had little effect. Poof! A punch pierced through the blood shield, and the fist did not completely hit the corpse plague. The stars on the fist directly shook the body of the corpse into pieces of flesh and blood, scattered in the heaven and earth. Boom! The punch is not bad. It penetrates the void, tears the barrier, and knocks out a huge black hole. Inside the black hole, there are cracks like cobwebs. As if the space barrier inside the black hole is also affected by the power of this fist, when the cobweb appears, a pure breath between heaven and earth gushes out of the black hole. The breath has a wild flavor, which can wash people's spirits and nourish people's bodies. When the breath gushes out, dragon dust has a dry river bed and is moistened. The breath is not strong, such as the breeze blowing over the sky and earth, but when the breath flies, the destroyed space law instantly restores, and the endless wounds left on the earth also slowly heal. The breath is like a pair of hands with supreme magic power. Even the wounds of heaven and earth can be smoothed. That breath is the oldest and most primitive force between heaven and earth. The air of chaos? At that moment, the dragon dust was startled, and the divine ring behind him changed rapidly, absorbing the breath crazily. And Xiachen, Guoran, and Yu Shaoqian behind Longchen also feel the difference. They don't need dragon dust to say hello, and they are crazy to absorb those chaotic qi. In the distance, Shengdan Hall, Shuesha Hall, Jiuyo Hall and some other powerful people were also envied. Qi of chaos, that is what everyone wants when the 3,000 worlds are opened. If we absorb the qi of chaos, we will have a great chance to directly condense the crown of heaven. Condensing out the crown of heaven and earth is equal to obtaining the recognition of heaven and earth, and having a pass. In any place, as long as the crown of heaven breaks out, the law of heaven will obey you, which is the dream of every immortal king. Unfortunately, the spider-like crack soon healed, and the chaos disappeared, and the black hole in front of me also quickly healed, as if nothing had happened. It's a pity. I just felt a little bit. Why did it disappear? Guoran cried out in chagrin. Xiachen and Yu Shaoqian look at Guoran, but they are shocked. They exclaim at the same time. Behind Guoran's head, a faint halo appears. Although it is not particularly obvious, it is real. The crown of heaven. Ilgo, One-Eye Summer Morning looks at the halo behind Guoran's head. Eyeball Sun wants to stare out. This guy is so strong? You know, they just absorbed a little bit of chaos. Xia Chen and Yu Shaoqian only absorbed a little. They felt that the body and soul were washed, and there seemed to be a strange power in their bodies. But in addition, I didn't feel much about it. But Guoran had a halo at the back of his head. Although the aura was very dim, it was the legendary crown of heaven. Is this guy so lucky? Dragon dust. All of a sudden, Yu Shaoqian exclaimed, her figure flickered, and she came to Longchen. At this time, Longchen's face was as white as paper, and there was blood spilling from his ears, nose and eyes, which was very frightening. Yu Shaoqian holds the dragon dust and presses her jade hand on the back of the dragon dust. She wants to lose her spirit yuan to the dragon dust. No, call him Onyen. Let's go. Hurry up. At this time, the whole body of dragon dust is in sharp pain, and the person has already appeared the phenomenon of vertigo. Try to keep a trace of sober to the moon, Shaoqian. At this time, Onyen flew back. At this time, his breath was also a little lax. Obviously, his fierce battle with Yin Changxing was extremely fierce. Onyen, your belt. Guoran's sharp eyes suddenly found that Onyen waist with a jade belt. The jade belt some familiar. Master Mo, there is no good to do, go quickly, there are a lot of experts coming. I go, what's wrong with dragon dust? When Onyen saw the dragon dust, he was shocked and thought that he was seriously injured. The array disc was started at the first time in summer morning, and the 5 people disappeared instantly. Boom, with a bang, a long flame gun pierced the space where Long Chen and others were, and Yin Changxing appeared. His whole body was full of flame, and his eyes were full of fierce killing intention. Yin Changsheng's breath was as loose as that of Onyen. The disciples of Shengdan Hall exclaimed when they saw Yin Changxing. They found that the jade belt on Yin Changsheng's waist was missing. They suddenly remembered that Onyen didn't wear a belt, so he took Yin Changsheng's belt. Asshole, Yin Changxing was so angry that his spear pierced in the void, and his violent power made the void buzzing. However, Long Chen, Onyen and others had already escaped, and he was powerless. Roar. Just at this moment, a flame unicorn appeared beside Yin Changxing and let out a roar. Yin Changxing said angrily, he is not my opponent at all. Otherwise, how can he escape? If we two work together, even if we kill him, it will be a great shame. He had a fierce battle with Onyen before, but he didn't call the flame Qilin to help. Yin Changsheng was also a proud man. He suffered a great loss in Long Chen's hands last time. This time, he had to defeat Emon Yen with his own strength. But unexpectedly, Emon Yen is more terrifying than he imagined. This guy is not only able to run for his life, but also extremely strong. They fight hard for a long time, and the result is even. However, what made him most angry was that his magic jade belt was snatched by Emon Yen at the very beginning. Let alone the value of the jade belt, it was an indescribable humiliation. What's more, what he hates most is that Emon Yen's mouth is particularly damaged. He beat him and scolded him at the same time. As a result, he was furious and impetuous. He was beaten by Emon Yen and was almost spitting blood. Especially when Emon Yen was fighting, he deliberately twisted his waist to show off his booty. His coquettish appearance made Yin Changsheng smoke. Boom! At this time, countless powerful people came flying from all directions. Obviously, they were shocked by the movement here. However, they all came late and everything was over. Dragon dust, Emon Yen, Yin Changsheng will not tear you into pieces, swear not to be human. Yin Changsheng looked up to the sky and roared with endless killing intention in his voice. They were the two people he hated most in his life. The void vibrates, and the figures of Long Chen and others appear. Dragon dust, how are you? The month small Chen holds dragon dust, pretty face is full of concern. It's okay. I hurt my meridians by my own strength. Help me protect the Dharma. I'll use the chaos chi just absorbed to cure the wound. Dragon dust smile, comfort way, speak, cross knee sitting on the ground, hands, rode chaos breath in the body of dragon dust began to flow. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3804 Longchen's meridians were so badly shaken that they were almost broken. It can be said that it is extremely dangerous. It is a taboo for a practitioner to exert all his strength. This kind of play is a complete loss to both sides, even to hurt oneself before the enemy. What's more, the dragon dust has just formed a 7-star battle body, and it can't effectively control such a powerful force. Such a full-scale attack is no different from looking for death. Long Chen would never make such a low-level mistake, but the strong man of the Dragon Clan asked him to do so, so he had to do it. As expected, the blow almost knocked him out. However, Long Chen didn't expect that with his own injury he even got a trace of chaos. He couldn't help admiring the strong man of the Dragon Clan. Although Long Chen's meridians are full of holes, it is not difficult to repair them as long as you give him some time. However, now Long Chen has absorbed a lot of chaotic chi in his body. It seems that he understands the intention of the strong Dragon Clan and directly introduces the chaotic chi into the meridians. As expected, as Long Chen expected, when the chaotic chi poured into the meridians, the wounds on Long Chen's meridians were rapidly repaired, and the repaired meridians were actually thickened several times, showing full elasticity. Dragon Dust Heart Ecstasy. In this way, his purple will no longer leak, can run the most direct and violent way 7-star battle body. The reason why Long Chen can't control the 7-star battle body is that the power attached to the 7-star battle body is too strong for his meridians to bear. The muscles and veins cannot bear, naturally, to release some purple gas. To ensure their normal operation, as a result, purple gas has been wasted. It's like a man who had only 100 caddies of strength and suddenly gave him a 200 gene stick as a weapon, but he couldn't take it at all. He had to use a knife to cut off part of it so that he could just control it. When your body gradually adapts to it, add the weight of the stick a little bit, and the meridians are the foundation of the strength. Even though the meridians were repeatedly expanded during the Dragon Dust Fairy robbery, they were still unable to bear the strength of the 7-star battle body. But now, with the nourishment of chaotic chi, the nearly broken meridians of Long Chen have been recast. The width of the meridians remains unchanged, but the strength and toughness are no longer many times stronger. There is no need to worry about air leakage in the future. In other words, the current Dragon Dust can completely control the power of the 7-star battle body, and Long Chen would like to kill back now. However, this is just thinking about it. Just that world-shaking strike almost consumed all the purple chi in Long Chen's body. It has to be said that Long Chen trusts the strong people of the Dragon Clan too much. Master, you are so good that you know that I can get so much benefit from this attack. Long Chen preached to the strong soul of the Dragon Clan. According to my prediction, you should get more benefits. You are not afraid to attack you. Compared with the same level, you can only be regarded as medium among the 9-star descendants, not even above. The strong dragon sighed. How? I'm so strong already? Long Chen heart crazy jump, some unconvinced tunnel. You know, at this time, the dragon dust didn't know how terrible his power was. After he was advanced, he was no longer the former dragon dust. He had a kind of momentum to fight in all directions and look down upon the heroes. And the words of the strong man of the Dragon Clan are tantamount to watering the head with cold water. Long Chen is surprised and angry. He absolutely does not believe that he is so bad. Don't be unconvinced. I've seen too many 9-star followers, and they have also opened up the 7-star battle. Your combat power is only moderate among them. But don't feel inferior. It's not that your talent is not good enough, nor is it that you are not hardworking. It's your 9-star master's formula, which has only one general outline and no matching combat skills. The martial arts and combat skills of the 9-star domineering formula complement each other. It's very good that you can do this. The strong man of the Dragon Clan comforted. Hearing the consolation of the strong people of the Dragon Clan, Long Chen felt lost. He was a very confident man. Now, when he heard such a comment, he felt empty in his heart and felt very sad. Master, you must know the supporting combat skills of the 9-star domineering code? Long Chen asked tentatively. I don't know. The secret skills of 9 stars are only known by 9 stars. It's impossible for outsiders to understand the mystery. The Star River Vein is just a branch of the 9-star pulse. Although the breath is somewhat similar, there is no comparability in terms of real power, such as the contrast between rivers and the vast ocean. The two are not on the same level. Let's not say that I don't know the fighting skills of the 9-star One Pulse. Even if I know it, it's no use even if the 9-star descendant passes on the secret skills to you. The strong of the dragon race. Why is that? Long Chen can't help but be surprised. But, don't you know it yourself? Since your 5-star battle, your 9-star route has changed. This is an irreversible change. Don't mention me. Even the founder of the 9-star game can't change it. The strong of the dragon race. Yes, the 9-star master's formula can be changed. The original pentagram and the later hexagram have broken away from the original track and become stronger. That is to say, the 7-star battle body is now in its original form. Because of the change of route, I can only be regarded as the medium of the 9-star descendants. However, if we change the form of the 7-star combat body, according to past experience, the power of the 7-star combat body should be improved to a higher level. Think of here, dragon dust, a decadent gas, in the heart of the flame was ignited again. When he changed the 9-star master's formula, he had a premonition that the future road would be difficult, but since he had gone, he would never regret it. He also believed that he would be able to take a different road from the 9-star domineering formula with his own ability, and it would never be worse than the original 9-star formula. Lofty sentiments and aspirations as like as 2 peas. Ha ha, yes, young people should have such a momentum, and what's more, they must have high aspirations and difficulties. You have changed the practice route of the 9-star domineering formula. No one knows whether it is good or bad. Since everything is unknown, you should rush forward with your eyes closed. However, now you need to constantly accumulate strength to deal with the impact of the 7-star battle body. Only when the strength of the 7-star battle body is fully controlled by you can you change the 7-star state. Your meridians, after the baptism of Tianjie, the assistance of the 9-star descendants, and the restoration of chaotic qi, are already strong enough. Now there is one thing missing. The strong man of the Dragon Clan laughs. What else is missing? Long Chen asked in a hurry. What you still lack is my Dragon King essence. www.ninefold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3805. If you want to change the cultivation route of the 9-star domineering formula, it can be said that it is more difficult than going to heaven. The first 2 times, your success was actually a combination of wisdom, strength, and luck. But this time, the 7-star battle body is the watershed of the 9 stars. Before the 7 stars, there is no big difference between all the 9-star descendants. However, after opening the 7 stars, their talents, qualifications, perseverance, will, wisdom, concentration, and other factors will make the gap between the 9-star successors rapidly open. It's also a 7-star battle, but have you found that in the Tianjie, those 9-star descendants are dominated by the Tianjie, and only one of them can tear up the Tianjie with his bare hands, smash the will of the Tianba, and let the heavenly way not enslave the 9-star descendants. This is the gap. In the Sea of Blood, 1 billion beast statues besieged 399 descendants, and both lost and died. In fact, half of the billion beast statues were killed by that man. And that man died not in the hands of these beasts, but in the hands of another terrifying alien, the strong of the dragon race. In whose hands did he die? Dragon dust to bite teeth, in the eyes of the killing machine rolling. Each of the 9-star descendants is a hot-blooded man. He is a real fighter. He wants to revenge for them. The man who killed him also died. You know it's meaningless who it was. The war in those years was not what you could imagine. You just need to know that without strong power, fame, status, dignity, and pride are bullshit. What kind of civilization in the spiritual world is nothing but a joke of self-deception by the human race? The world is barbaric in nature, and it always focuses on strength rather than reason. The most stupid thing about your people is that you want to use your goodness to influence evil creatures, but you don't know that the most evil thing is your people. The strong of the dragon race. After listening to the strong man of the dragon clan, Long Chen pondered for a while and finally said with a wry smile, "Although it is a little harsh, I have to say that you are right. Your people are the biggest contradiction. Good and evil, light and dark are all blended into your soul. Therefore, the character of your people is the most changeable. Good and evil are always in one mind. You are living creatures walking in 2 extremes. In this world, no one can see through you, even you cannot see yourself. I have seen with my own eyes the glory of your people, and I have seen you break the altar and fall from it. The most ridiculous thing is that you people don't know why this happened, and I, as a spectator, also don't understand why this scene has evolved." The strong man of dragon nationality sighed for a long time, and his voice was full of melancholy. "Master, don't sigh. When I step on the altar and climb to the top of all kinds of things, such things will never happen again." Long Chen laughs. "Are you so sure?" The strong people of the dragon nationality are somewhat surprised. "Well, I'm absolutely sure that as long as I don't die, you'll be able to climb to the top. As long as I can, the world will change because of me." Long Chen is full of confidence. The strong man of the dragon clan was silent for a moment, and then said, "You people are not trustworthy. However, I am willing to believe you. Your boy's character is very much to my taste." "Hey, you can believe me, absolutely right. Hee, there is a bright future for the dragon dust. By the way, Elder, I have absorbed so much chaos, why don't I feel a little bit?" And my brother, who absorbed less than 1% of me, condensed the prototype of the Heavenly King's crown. But Long Chen suddenly asked, "That guy is as weak as a chicken, and he can't absorb much chaotic chi. Besides, he has excellent luck and is favored by heaven. As the saying goes, the way of heaven is to make up for what is lost. Among the strong at the same level, his aptitude is the weakest, and the way of heaven naturally needs to compensate him more. Therefore, it must be the fastest for him to form the crown of the heavenly way." The strong man of the dragon nationality is light and tunnel. Dragon dust immediately can't laugh or cry. Looking at the distance, Guo ran a pair of cow force Coke's appearance. If tell him the truth, estimate this guy must cry. However, to think about it, Guo Ran's current strength is made by Long Chen, but his talent and qualification are born and can't be changed. So although Guo Ran's strength is strong now, in the eyes of heaven, he is a weak chicken that can't be weaker anymore. It is estimated that the way of heaven will be moved by him. He has to pity him and take care of him more. Master, when will I get your dragon scales? Dragon Dust Road. It's not the time, and I'm still figuring out what's going on. When the time comes, he'll tell you what you want to do now. The strong of the dragon race. Can I break through the void again and bring the air of chaos to me? Longchen asked. The chi of chaos is like a dragon vein. It is swimming, and it can't be touched at any time or anywhere. Moreover, before the dragon vein officially appears, it is not in a hurry to gather the crown of heaven. There is no need to worry about the closure of the 3,000 worlds. If the chi of chaos does not come out, the 3,000 worlds will not be closed. The strong of the dragon race. Since this method doesn't work, let's forget it. Dragon Dust starts to run the 9-star domineering code to quickly restore purple chi. Under the vision of purple gas generated by the star C, 18,000 stars are like 18,000 spring eyes. The purple gas of Dragon Dust has recovered about 80% in less than half a day. Then Longchen stopped closing. As long as he didn't fight, Ziki would recover in a few hours. There was no need to restore it deliberately. When Longchen recovered 80%, Emon Yen and Yu Shaoqian recovered to 77%. 78%. Xia Chen and Guoran had recovered completely. Guoran, in particular, did not need to meditate at all. As long as he opened the crown of heaven, he would recover quickly. It took only half an hour to recover. At this time, Guoran was surprised and pleased, and kept studying his heavenly crown. However, everyone's Tiandao crown had special ability just like a vision. How to be specific, we had to excavate it ourselves. Longchen thinks that Emon Yen's Tiandao Wang Mian may not have other special abilities. After all, this is based on his own qualifications, perseverance, and talent. This guy is very poor in all aspects. But Longchen doesn't want to eliminate his enthusiasm, so let him study it himself. However, as long as the King of Heaven can quickly restore physical strength, it is also extremely adverse to the sky, can let people have endless strength. Most of the time, Guoran is relying on battle armor to fight, and his physical strength consumption is not big. With the crown of heaven, his combat endurance will be very amazing. Let's go. Let's go back to Silver Moon City, take our brothers and return to Haotian City. The Dragon Blood Army will be reorganized this time. When Longchen said this, Xia Chen and Guoran were in hot blood, especially Guoran, the commander-in-chief, howled excitedly. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3806. In the back of the boat, there are only Longchen and Yu Shaoqian. Yu Shaoqian nestles in Longchen's arms with a happy smile on her face. Yu Shaoqian tells about her experience after her ascent. It turns out that after her ascent, she fell directly into the ancestral land of the original devil. She has got the most complete inheritance of the first demon clan. Today, she starts with the mark of the first devil. Even if it is stronger than Corpse Plague, she will suppress her. If she is in full bloom, she will not even have the chance to escape under one-on-one situation. However, many of Yu Zioqian's abilities are aimed at the demons. For other races, there is no such advantage. So when she was besieged by the demons, she did not fall into a crisis. However, when the killers of Joyo Temple and Shueisha Hall, as well as the Shengdan Hall and other Terran strongmen came, Yu Zioqian's pressure suddenly increased. Fortunately, Xia Chen and Guoran arrived at the critical moment, otherwise she would be in danger. Longchen also gives a brief account of her fairyland experience to Yu Shaoqian. When it comes to meeting Yu Qingxian, Yu Shaoqian suddenly sits up and is extremely surprised. In order to save Yu Xian's body, Yu Xian fought against the sky to save them. At that time, they knew how much Yu Qingxian had paid for Longchen. They were deeply in love with Yu Qingxian because of his reincarnation in previous lives. So when I heard Yu Qingqian's news, Yu Shaoqian was extremely surprised. Longchen, this time you must treat Qingxian well, and don't let her get hurt. Don't worry, absolutely not. Longchen nodded and said that in this life, he would like to pay back Yu Qingxian. By the way, Is that by sure also your confidant of fairyland? Yu Shaoqian asked with a smile. Long dust suddenly red face, some awkward nodded head. Should calculate. Yu Shaoqian chuckled. Don't be afraid, I just ask casually, im not Wainer, I want pinch you. When Yu Shaoqian said this, Long Chen was more embarrassed, but he was helpless. In fact, he had deliberately kept a distance with Bai Shir, but he finally fell in. Feelings are invincible. No matter how high you are and how good your talent is, you are vulnerable to it. Just one white poem? Asked Yu Shaoqian. Just one, I promise. Long Chen is serious. Hee, why are you so nervous? People like you who are so excellent, so wild, so dangerous, and so attached importance to feelings, have a fatal attraction to us women. Having been in the fairyland for such a long time, there is only one confidant, which shows that you have been trying to restrain yourself small Qian comforts away. Long Chen wryly laughed. This praise makes me very ashamed. Isn't a real man supposed to be single-minded and keep one end? Sometimes I look down on myself for a person with emotional disorder like me. In fact, every one of you is a beautiful girl of heaven. It is my blessing to be favored by any one of you. But with so many of you in favor of me, I feel like I'm committing a crime. I'm wronged. Fool, how can I be wronged? Do you know when I fell in love with you? Yu Zioqian's jade hand stroked Long Chen's cheek and whispered. I said I don't know. Will I be beaten? Long Chen was embarrassed. He didn't know about this kind of thing. Small Qian white dragon dust one eye. When did I hit you? At that time, in the secret place of Jili, you used your body to block in front of me, and you refused to leave. At that moment, I knew that my destiny was doomed. You protect me with your life. It's a deadly poison for any woman. You are mysterious, wild, arrogant, and hard to tame, which is full of temptation for many women. Women are naturally curious and want to get close to you and see the secrets in your heart. When you are mysterious, wild, arrogant, and hard to tame, and willing to sacrifice your life for others, there are probably few women in the world who can resist this impact. So, I'm not surprised that you have a confidant in the fairyland, but there is only one, which is beyond my expectation. According to my estimation, I'm afraid that your confidants in fairyland will not be less than those in Tianwu. The small Qian covers the lip to smile away. In the eye actually takes a touch to move. When Yu Shaoqian said this, Long Chen was more and more ashamed. He had a deep sense of guilt and an impulse to cry. They were so kind to themselves that they could not repay him if he died. After a few words with Yu Shaoqian, they came from Hotsong to Qiansong. Mo Nian was flying in his mouth and sketched a blueprint for Xia Chen and Guoran. I tell you, believe me, this is a huge business, and this treasure is definitely related to us. Our brothers are of the same mind, and their profits will cut off gold. If we finish this vote, we will be popular all our lives. Seeing Mo Nian's serious deception, Yu Shaoqian couldn't help laughing. This guy's fighting power is so terrible that he can compete with the future descendants of Shengdan Hall. At this time, he looks like a charlatan with no master style. I don't want to say whether I can have a good taste or not. They'll ask if you can teach me some of your skills of pretending to be forced. The most important thing is, can you design a poem for me? As long as you say yes, not to mention the tomb, I will follow you even if you say yes. Guoran patted his chest and said, obviously, this time, Guoran was stunned by the way Mo Nianleifeng came out, and couldn't be envied. No problem, my brother, in a word. Mo Nian also patted his chest. At this time, Mo Nian found the arrival of Long Chen and Yu Shaoqian. Mo Nian pointed to the map behind him and said, it's just that you are here. Let's study together. The big tomb in this place is not an artificial tomb, it's a celestial burial. What is a celestial burial? Guoran couldn't help asking. To our surprise, Yu Shaoqian said, celestial burial refers to the death of the most powerful person. Heaven can't bear to expose his body in the wilderness, and the earth will crack and the sky will collapse, and bury a world. The land of celestial burial is extremely dangerous. It is very likely to produce evil corpses. The so-called evil corpse is that after the death of a strong person, the spirit and the body will not be destroyed. Once awakened, the evil corpse will be born, which may cause disaster to the people. You can think about it. Even Longchen was surprised. Even Longchen didn't know about the celestial burial. Yu Shaoqian even knew that. Guoran, Xiachen and Guoran were also surprised. Yu Shaoqian was so erudite. Don't worry. I've seen the burial place that day. The cemetery faces south. It's Yang burial. It's different from the usual Yin tomb. It's full of Yang, and the probability of producing evil corpses is not high. Moreover, 9 dragon veins gather around to form the spirit of Jiulong town. The way of heaven is to make these creatures sleep peacefully. We only seek wealth and do not dig corpses. As long as we don't disturb those bodies, everything is safe. Mo Nian patted his chest. Seeing that Mo Nian said so, Yu Shaoqian nodded and seemed to agree with Mo Nian's point of view. As a result, the plan was finalized. The boat stops for inspection. Just as the boat was about to approach the Silver Moon City, a huge siege crossbow appeared, aiming at Guoran's boat. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3807. When did you set up checkpoints outside Inua City to check pedestrians? Longchen could not help frowning. 18 huge siege crossbows were aimed at Guoran's boat. At the same time, countless runes were lit up on the outer gate of Inua City. It's the one from the Temple of Satan. Guoran has a dignified face. The Holy Dan Hall can control Silver Moon City? I didn't expect to dare to investigate in front of Silver Moon City. Mo Nian is also a little surprised. We should know that Inua City is a city of human beings. Although we can't help being alien, no one dares to make trouble within the jurisdiction of Inua City. Otherwise, it is trampling on the dignity of Inua City. Setting up checkpoints in front of the city gate to check pedestrians can either ignore the Silver Moon City or get the approval of Silver Moon City. However, seeing that among those people, some of them were in the Holy Dan Hall, and some were strong in robes embroidered with Silver Moon. It seems that they have got the approval of Silver Moon City. People in the boat listen, get down quickly and accept the inspection, or you will be at your own risk. There is a god reverence, and the strong one shouts. At your own risk? I'm really conceited. What can you do for me? The dragon dust hummed coldly and came out of the boat. When the dragon dust, Mo Nian and others came out, the head of the god Zun State's strong face changed greatly and immediately made a standby posture. If I Longchen wants to enter the city, can you stop me with your donkey balls and horse eggs? Longchen looked at the dozens of gods in front of him and a group of disciples of fairyland. He stood with his hands and sneered. Dragon Dust, you are now the wanted criminal of Shengdan Hall, Shueisha Hall, Juyo Hall and demons. Inua City doesn't welcome you. Go away. At this time, out of the crowd came a strong immortal with a silver moon embroidered in front of him. He was a very proud man with a handsome appearance, but his face was arrogant. It seemed that everyone looked down on him. Silver Moon City is a city of human beings. When has it become a running dog of others? Is Shengdan Hall your father? Are you so obedient? Longchen disdains tunnel. Bold, do you know who I am? The man, dressed in Silver Moon costume, snapped. I'm going into the city now. I don't have time to talk to you. If I don't want to die, I'll get out of the way. I know, you've already informed the guys and they're coming at full speed. But if you want to block my way, first of all, you will not succeed. Second, you will pay an unbearable price. Longchen Cold Tunnel. After a few words, Longchen has basically understood that these people are just colluding with Inua City. They want to keep Longchen out of the city and are not qualified to launch a city to deal with Longchen. What they have to do is to hold down the dragon dust and wait for the master to come to rescue him. As soon as the master arrives, he can kill him directly outside the city, without affecting the reputation of Silver Moon City. Arrogant boy, I think you are looking for death. I am the 13th son of Inua City Master. If you don't kneel down and kowtow to me today, you will die for me. The man in the Silver Moon costume was very angry. With a choking sound, the long sword came out of its sheath and pointed to the dragon dust. "Boss, you can't kill a chicken with an ox knife. I'm willing to throw in a brick and attract Jade and fight for the first time." A look at the man to hand, Guo ran the first time to stand out. Although the man in the silver moon costume is the supreme level of Tianjiao, his breath is not strong and even a little flighty. At first glance, he is a talent with good talent, but he has not explored deeply, and he has not experienced many bloody battles. Such a man, even Guo Ran, has cut him to death with a knife. Looking for death, seeing that Long Chen didn't pay attention to him, a guy whose breath was weaker than him jumped out. The man in silver moon costume thought that he was deliberately humiliating him, so he would kill him in a rage. However, before he started, he was caught by the old man of the Shengdan Hall. The old man of the Shengdan Hall had seen the fierce battle between Long Chen and others. He knew that each of the 5 people was the best. Once the man in the silver moon costume rushed past, he was in the arms of death, and no one could save him. "Are you idiots? What do you stop me from doing? If you dare not do it yourself, let me go and I will destroy them." The man in the silver moon costume was stopped. He could not help but be surprised and angry, thinking that this group of people had lost their brains. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is Silver Moon City, and this is the son of the Lord of the city. The Lord of the city is closed, and his son has the right to refuse anyone to enter the city. Since you are not allowed to enter the city, please leave. Otherwise, when the battle starts, none of you can leave alive." An old man's cold tunnel from Silver Moon City. Obviously, they don't want to deal with Long Chen, nor do they want to start the Silver Moon City array. Their purpose is to prevent Long Chen from entering the city. "If you don't go to the city, please inform me that there are my brothers in the city. Let them come out." Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. Notice? Who do you think you are? If you want to get rid of it now, you will die. Another old man of Silver Moon City was already a little impatient. Now he saw that Long Chen didn't go away, he roared directly. Poof! As a result, the old man had just finished roaring, and an arrow pierced his head. The old man's eyes were wide, and he seemed not to feel the danger at all, so he was killed. It was Guo Ran, whose sleeve arrows were silent. There was no sign of his hand. Even when the man died, he did not know whose hand he was. "It's a shame. Since you want to die, there's no need to stop it." Long Chen snorted coldly and made a practical action. Bang! Just after Long Chen finished this action, Guo Ran had already added magic dragon armor to his body, and his sword was cut down in the air, and his intention to kill him soared to the sky. "You dare to fight back, open a big battle for me and kill him." The man in the silver moon costume was slapped on the face by Long Chen before the command was finished. Long Chen had tried his best to restrain his strength, but he was almost beaten to death. Long Chen didn't expect that there would be such a weak supreme strong man in the world. He wanted strength without strength, speed without speed, and combat experience without combat experience. Even Long Chen slapped him in the face, and he didn't even turn on his instinctive strength to protect his body. Long Chen slapped him in the face. This guy fell on the ground like porcelain. Although he didn't burst, his whole body was full of cracks, and he would be broken to pieces at any time. Boom boom. At this time, Xia Chen and Yu Shaoqian also took action. Those strong men had no ability to resist at all, and they were almost killed in an instant. No matter the strong ones in Shengdan Hall or the strong ones in Yingyue City, they all disappeared, and Mo Nian stood with negative hands, and even had no desire to fight. Boom! At this time, the whole Silver Moon City roared and roared. The endless divine power changed the sky and earth. Hundreds of millions of rune arrows condensed on the wall and pointed to dragon dust and others. "Open the gate, or there will be no bones left of your little city lord." Facing the lock of the city, Long Chen doesn't look. He grabs the man in the silver moon costume with one hand and goes directly to the gate of the city. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3808. Long Chen grabs the man in the silver moon costume and goes straight to the gate of the city. He completely ignores the hundreds of millions of Dharma arrays on the wall of the city. He knows that the people in the city dare not attack him. Longchen estimated that this matter was that the Holy Dan Temple took advantage of this stupid guy and borrowed his power to help resist the dragon dust. The man in Silver Moon costume is a straw bag, which is easy to be cheated by others. As Longchen expected, the strong man in Inue City did not dare to attack him because he was afraid that Longchen would use a man in Silver Moon costume as a shield. Click, click. The wall of the endless light spread, revealing the closed door, so dragon dust then grabbed the man into the Silver Moon City. Holding the neck of the son of Inue City Master, when Longchen entered Inue City, he was immediately surrounded by numerous strong men wearing Silver Moon clothes. "Let me go. You dare to do this to me, I will let you die without a burial place." The man in the Silver Moon costume is still roaring and roaring even though he is pinched by the dragon dust. Unfortunately, his neck was pinched with more air in and less out of breath. His voice was out of shape, thin and sharp, like a eunuch cursing on the street, without a trace of dignity, but it made people feel very funny. Xiachen, Longchen grabs the man in the Silver Moon costume and puts his face close to Xiachen. Without saying a word, Xiachen waves his hand and slaps him in the face. Pa 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 pa. After more than 10 slaps in the face in the morning of summer, the gorgeous man just recovered. All his wounds were cracked and his face was bloody. Let Xiachen smoke, because Zayakin's physical strength is not strong, someone else's control is not good, he will be shot to death. The mouth continues to be cheap, I continue to smoke. Summer morning, take out a handkerchief, wipe the blood on the hand. Kill me if you have seed. Kill me and none of you will live. The man in the Silver Moon costume was reckless enough. At this time he dared to threaten. Pa 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 pa. Xiachen answered him again with a slap in the face. Rao was a good-natured summer morning, and was also aroused by anger. He wanted to be killed by a slap. This guy, relying on his status as the son of the city lord, thought that no one dared to move him, but he did not know that he had fallen into the hands of death. Let go of the Lord's son, or you will die without a burial place. Boom! When Longchen and others enter the city and the battle array is closed, Longchen and others are all at once in a cage. Don't you have any other words? I'm tired of listening to such platitudes. Since they are all dead, who cares whether there is a place to bury bones? If my dragon dust buries his bones here, I can guarantee that I will bring you the whole Silver Moon City to be buried with you. Dragon dust cold voice cheers. His voice was heard far away, shaking the world. His voice was full of hegemony and self-confidence. Even if they did not know Longchen, they did not dare to doubt what Longchen said. For a time, the strong men in Silver Moon City were shocked. They were scared by the momentum of dragon dust and didn't know what to do. What is your dragon dust? In front of me, Yin Changxing, you are just a coward who can only escape. At this time, the city heard a break drink only to see Yin Changxing with a large group of powerful people galloping. Yin Changxing was very dusty. Obviously, after receiving the news, he sent the message continuously. He didn't dare to delay for a moment. He still had the air of space on his body. Unfortunately, he was still a step slower. Wow, are you here? Last time you gave me a belt, what would you give me this time? Seeing Yin Changxing, Mo Nian smiles and looks at Yin Changxing up and down. When he saw Mo Nian, Yin Changxing was very angry. His belt was snatched away by Mo Nian. It was a great shame to him. Now see Mo Nian again, his eyes to spray fire, long gun in hand, direct to Mo Nian, the fury of the breath surging wildly. Longchen, I didn't expect you to hide here and finally meet. This time, where can you escape? As soon as the words fell, a woman with long hair, wearing strong clothes and carrying a long sword, fell from the sky. She was the most powerful person in Juyo Hall. Unexpectedly, she also came. As soon as Juyo Luosha appeared, the fierce murderous spirit made countless people's skin cold and soul tingling. Contrary to the hidden breath of ordinary killers, Juyo Luosha is like a god of killing, and likes to kill people in the most direct and violent way. Behind Juyo Luosha, there is a large shadow, which moves with the wind, like the flag of the devil, and seems to be waving the sickle of death. After being promoted to the fairyland, Jiuyou Luosha's breath changed completely. It became colder and hotter. It seemed that it was born for killing. When Longchen saw Jiuyou Luosha, he couldn't help but feel awe-stricken. After Jiuyou Luosha had been robbed, earth-shaking changes had taken place, and the strength had not been improved much. Longchen secretly congratulates himself that he has the help of a strong dragon clan. Otherwise, after the robbery, his strength will be far away from her. As soon as Jiuyou Luosha appeared, some disciples of Jiuyou Temple in the city approached her one after another and stood behind her. Is your memory so poor? Have you forgotten the scene when I was beaten to beg for mercy in the dark sky? Longchen sneered. Although Jiuyou Luosha has become more terrifying, the current dragon dust, with 7 stars fully opened and meridians greatly completed, is no longer the dragon dust of the past, fearless of any strong man. Damned fool, that time I was careless. A small victory, let you be complacent, talk about it all your life? If you're a man, you'll come out of town with me and have a fight. Jiuyou Luosha's eyes turned cold, and her face was very natural. Obviously, she hated Longchen and didn't want to wait for a moment. A fight? I'm sorry, this opportunity can't be given to you alone, otherwise, your stupid master will start to boast nonsense again. Suddenly, a soft voice came, a black-robed Ji Wuming appeared. When he appeared, countless people exclaimed. The strong people were like clouds, but no one knew where he came from. Dragon dust, yes, I think I have many enemies. I can't think of your enemies. One is more powerful than the other. When Emon Yen saw Jiuyou Luosha and Ji Wuming appeared one after another, he couldn't help laughing. His eyes were full of fighting spirit. Emon Yen was also a fighting madman in his heart. You can see only the tip of the iceberg. Dragon Dust looked at the enemy, one by one. Dragon Dust also excited. Let me go, or you will regret coming to this world. All of a sudden, the man in the hand of Longchen, dressed in silver moon costume, wakes up after being patted dizzy by summer morning, and roars at his throat. Xiachen looked at it. He raised his hand and was about to slap him in the face. All of a sudden, Longchen pushed him away. At the same time, he called Hong Dao in his hand and cut the void. Boom, a burst of sound, the whole Silver Moon City trembled. A figure was cut back by a knife of dragon dust. The figure was a middle-aged man in his 40s. As soon as the man appeared, the man in the Silver Moon costume immediately exclaimed with excitement, "You are dead, Dad, kill them." www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3809. As soon as the middle-aged man appeared, countless people knelt down to salute him. City Lord, the middle-aged man looked at Longchen coldly, with a look of surprise in his eyes. He had just made a move without any sound or any sign, but he was recognized by the man in black in front of him. He is the City Lord of Silver Moon City, and his own strength is enough to frighten any strong man. Otherwise, he would not be able to occupy a place in such a complicated 3000 world. The city master of Inue City doesn't have any breath, and even makes people feel that he exists. But when he is seen, everyone's heart is shocked. It seems that this person has integrated into the world. He represents this city, this side of the world, that kind of feeling, as if in this place, he dominates all people's lives. This is such a terrible existence, an unimaginable power, as if a single thought can destroy all living beings, irresistible. Father, kill them. See Silver Moon City main hit measure dragon dust and so on, unexpectedly don't hand, that gorgeous dress man cries out. Pa 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 pa. Longchen raised his hand and sent the man to Xiachen. Xiachen raised his hand and he had 16 big mouths, which made his face full of blood again. Everyone was surprised. In front of the Lord of Inue City, he even took the face of a man in gorgeous clothes. This is no different from the face of the city lord. As expected, the city master of Inue City had a surprised look on his face, and suddenly his face became gloomy. He was angry in his eyes and said coldly, "Are you trying to force the city master to kill people? I don't believe you dare to fight here." unless you don't want this city. In addition, even if you do your best, even if I can't defeat you, I can still retreat. Long Chen wants to go, and no one can stop me. After the First World War, there will be no Silver Moon City in 3000 world, and you, the City Lord, are just a big joke. Of course, you can also think that I am bluffing you. You can have a try and see if I can talk Big Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. Today's Dragon Dust, 7 stars open, meridian remodeling, once again restored confidence, less cautious before, the mind has become more sober, confidence has become more firm, people have become more domineering. This is the foundation, and the foundation comes from the strong strength. It can be said that the arrangement of the strong dragon clan benefited him too much. Therefore, even in the face of a terror that has never been seen before, Long Chen is still full of confidence and everything is under control. The Lord of Inue City suddenly laughed. Yes, young and promising, courageous and knowledgeable. This matter is just a misunderstanding. My son is stupid and used by others. I hope you can give me a face and let my son go. I can let bygones be bygones. Silver Moon City Lord's words, let people be surprised, this is to seek peace? Even start to say soft words? However, some people sneer in secret, which is obviously deceptive. If Long Chen hands over the man in gorgeous clothes, the city master of Inue City will have no scruples and will kill him immediately. The city master of Inue City is still a little too taken for granted. This kind of trick is just to scare those timid people. Ji Wuming among the crowd has a mocking smile on his mouth. As expected, he has a stupid son, and his father can't go anywhere. Let Long Chen hand over people like this? It's just a big joke. In vain he lived so many years. No way. Before Long Chen could answer, the man in his hand roared, I will kill them. They dare to beat me. I will kill their whole family and kill all their families. The well-dressed man roared, in exchange for countless people shaking their heads in secret. This guy is simply stupid out of the sky. At this time, he is still threatening others to kill the whole family. Isn't he looking for death? Shut up, the master of Silver Moon City, with a heavy face, yelled in a loud voice. He was also very angry with this stupid son. Because the well-dressed man is pinched by Long Chen and controls his soul. If his soul transmits sound, he will be found by Long Chen. He winked at him before. Unfortunately, this fool can't understand. No, I'm going to kill them. The slap of Long Chen on the face of a well-dressed man is not the slap of Xia Chen. Even if Long Chen didn't exert himself, half of his face collapsed and he fainted instantly. It's so noisy, Long Chen frowned, but after a slap, everything was quiet, but the city master's face was even worse. How can you let me go? The Lord of Silver Moon City has a gloomy face. My dragon dust is never threatened. Dragon Dust said words, the hand has been comatose man, raised up. At that moment, the body of the gorgeous man trembled, woke up from the coma. What do you mean? The master of Silver Moon City changed his face and yelled. Ah! At this time, the well-dressed man made a pig-like scream, as if he was suffering a lot. Don't you understand? Your son wants to kill me, my family, my whole family. Do you think I'll let him live? Longshan Cold Tunnel. Dare you? The Lord of Silver Moon City roared. While you are young, have another one. Boom, all of a sudden, Long Chen's big hand trembled, and the man in the gorgeous clothes exploded in the hands of Long Chen, and his body and spirit were destroyed, so he was killed by Long Chen. Death. When Dragon Dust killed the well-dressed man, the Lord of Inue City slapped down the dragon dust with one hand. At the same time, endless lines appeared on the earth, and the whole world seemed to be covered with a mysterious carpet. The first move to open the sky, the dragon dust broke off, the red sword cut out, the purple chi twined, and the sword roared to the sky. The purple chi in the meridians was frantically compressed, and the violent power gushed. Boom! There was a tremendous noise, and the whole Silver Moon City was shaking. Some buildings were shaking violently, and there were fine cracks. With an explosion, Long Chen retreated for several steps, and the city master of Inue City was also shaken back. They fought hard, but the power of terror made countless people afraid. Ji Wuming, one of the crowd, narrowed her eyes. Master said it was true. This dragon dust is a very terrible existence, and it can't be ignored at all. As powerful as Ji Wuming, Jiuyou Luosha, Yin Changxing, Emon Yen and others, we can see at a glance that this attack was not a full blow, but a hasty one. The city master of Yingyue City doesn't give Longchen the chance to accumulate strength. He wants to kill Longchen at once. In order to pursue the speed of his hand, he doesn't break out with all his strength. If you are a general strong man, under this attack, there is only one way to die. The city lord of Yingyue City is totally oppressing people with his realm. But what he didn't know was that Longchen's meridians had been strengthened many times, and even all the forces could be squeezed out at one time. It's like a basin of cold water. If you want to heat it, you need to have a process. However, dragon dust can make the cold water boil instantly. This terrible explosive force shocked everyone. The dragon dust lifted the Minghong sword on his shoulder and looked at the city master of Yingyue City coldly and said, "Do you want my life or your city?" www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38:10. However, the city master was afraid of the city. He was sure that he would beat the dragon dust to death, but the dragon dust could release such a powerful force in an instant, which was totally unreasonable. He didn't use all his strength, but he also knew that Longchen didn't use all his strength. If he did his best, he would be sure to kill him in a few moves. But as Longchen said, after a fierce battle here, the whole Silver Moon City will be razed to the ground. If you don't do your best, you can't do anything but kill Longchen. The whole city has to be buried with him. The cost of killing Longchen is too high. If you let go of Longchen, you can't swallow it. For a while, the master of Yingyue City trembled with anger and didn't know what to do. Oh, what a big deal I'm talking about. There are so many sons in your family. You can't miss one or two of them. Besides, your son is so bad. If he dies, he can save you a lot of expenses and have another one when he has time. Well, he'll be a peacemaker. If you feel it's very bad, how about I help you? At this time, Emon Yen stood out and tried to persuade him. What do you mean? Silver Moon City Lord looking at Emon Yen angry way. I mean, if you think it's hard to have a baby, if you lend your wife to me in less than 3 years and promise to pay you back one big and one young, won't it be even? If you are lucky, one big 2 small, even one big 3 small, is also possible, so you will make a big profit. I will help you out. Oh, hold the grass. Emon Yen words have not finished. Silver Moon City Master has a distorted face to hit Emon Yen a cry, under the boot light. The space exploded, and the master of Yingyue City smashed down with a blow, but hit an empty one. Emon Yen escaped under the lock of Yingyue City Master's soul. Emon Yen stands behind the dragon dust, a face angry big curse way. Speak well, what do you do to hit people? Did you help me out? Everyone was surprised and funny. Emon Yen was so damaged that he even made the Lord of Yingyue angry. He couldn't bear it. However, Emon Yen's body method is too strange, so close, or in the case of Silver Moon City Master Breathlock, avoid his blow. This is simply impossible. Silver Moon City Lord is also surprised and angry. Fortunately, he did not give all his strength. This blow control the power. Do not want to destroy Silver Moon City. However, it is just like this. If a blow fails, he still has spare power to take it back. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. The master of Yingyue City understood that Emon Yen was deliberately provoking him. At the same time, he also used his strength to tell him that his strength was not inferior to that of dragon dust. If there was a fight, Silver Moon City would certainly not be able to survive, and even they would have the ability to retreat. Before Longchen said that he wanted to go, no one could stop him. He did not put this sentence in his heart, but after Emon Yen showed his hand, he understood that what Longchen said seemed to be not empty words. For a while, the master of Yingyue City gnawed his teeth, but he didn't know what to do. If he wasn't in Yingyue City, he would have killed these hateful guys. The master of Yingyue City clenched his teeth. The strong men in Inue City were so frightened that they did not dare to speak. They had followed him for many years and had never seen him so angry. And the onlookers were stunned. They didn't expect that things would evolve to this point. Long Chen was really crazy. He killed his son in front of the city master of Inue, but he could not do anything about them. Long Chen, what is it to be a turtle here? There's a kind of going out of town and fighting me to death. Jiuyo Luocha said coldly. Even if Long Chen showed such a strong strength, she was still fearless. Obviously, she had absolute confidence in herself. The brain is a good thing. I hope you can have it. If you want to fight, you can do it at any time. Long Chen looked at Jiuyo Luocha. This idiot's strength is getting stronger and stronger, but his intelligence seems not to be long at all. Out of town at this time? What's going on? As long as you get out of the city, the master of Silver Moon City will explode immediately. He is not so stupid. After finishing his speech, Long Chen swaggered and walked to the inner city. All the people in the city were disturbed by the movement here. When Long Chen swaggered into the city, people gave up a channel one after another. Almost all the strong people of the clan looked at Long Chen with admiration on their faces. You've won, but I've got it. The Lord of Silver Moon City looks at Long Chen, cold tunnel. In the end, he chose to compromise. A son is not enough to make him lose his mind and destroy the foundation established by himself. Long Chen seems to have known the result for a long time. He doesn't look back and goes straight to the city. However, Jiuyo Luosha, Yin Changxing, Ji Wuming and others refuse to leave the city, and there is no way. They do not dare to start here. If the city is destroyed and the city master of Inue City goes crazy, they don't want to face such a terrible strong man. If they want to kill Long Chen, they can only find another opportunity. Although they were unwilling, they could not help it. Yin Changxing hated why he didn't come earlier, otherwise he could stop Long Chen outside the city. Boss. Entering the city, you can see one by one dragon blood soldiers with weapons in their hands. Obviously, they are closed. They have just received the news. They are a big step slower than others. Everything is over. During this period, many dragon blood soldiers gathered in Silver Moon City, and now there are 317 people. When these soldiers saw the dragon dust, their blood was boiling and excited. Dragon dust and these dragon blood soldiers, one by one after a fierce embrace, with the crowd, straight to the transmission array. We're going to Haotian City now. The transmission array can't reach directly. If you want to kill me, don't miss the opportunity. Long Chen stands in front of the transmission array, looking at Yin Changxing, Jiuyo Luosha, Ji Wuming and others not far away, Lang Xingdao. Long Chen knows that these guys will definitely chase him. He simply tells them their destination and comes directly if they want to die. At this time, Long Chen is confident to face any strong one. On the other hand, Long Chen knows that this time, his name will ring in Inue City for a long time. If there is a dragon blood warrior coming, it is not difficult to find out where he is going. Dragon dust, do you just escape? Can't we just go out and fight? Jiuyo Luocha disdains the tunnel. However, Long Chen was too lazy to pay attention to Jiuyo Luosha. It was really the master who brought the apprentice. The master was not smart, and the apprentice was also a taste. His words made people feel ridiculous, and he even used naive and provocative methods to deal with him. Long Chen and others set foot on the transmission array. Mo Nian looks at the murderous face, but Yin Changxing says with a smile, "Brother, I'm sorry that I didn't get your filial piety this time. With your talent and diligence, there will always be opportunities." At this time, the transmission array was launched in the summer morning, and people watched helplessly the figure of Long Chen and others disappear. Just at the moment when the figure of Dragon Dust and others just disappeared, the city master of Silver Moon City appeared on the transmission array, and everyone was shocked. As soon as the shadow of the city master of Silver Moon City appeared, his figure began to become dim. He even wanted to use the power of transmission to pursue the past. All of a sudden, the master of Silver Moon City changed his face, and then countless runes on the transmission array lit up. In people's astonished eyes, the luxurious transmission array exploded. Idiot! In the burst sound of transmission array, There is also the voice full of sarcasm in Summer Morning. You wait for me. If they can't kill them, they will be calculated, and the transmission array will be destroyed. The Lord of Inua City will roar at the sky, but it will not help. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38:11. Fool, I knew this old guy would do it. The void roars and explodes. Xia Chun starts the second transmission in the transmission. Everyone just sees the scene of the big array exploding. Xia Chun laughs. Such a fool can also achieve this level. He is blind. Mo read for a while speechless. This guy is not much better than his silly son. But this guy is really scary. Was he like? Summer Morning thought of this person's terror and pressure, heart palpitation tunnel. Is it a transcendent existence? A dragon blood warrior said. But Longchen shook his head and said, no, it should also be a god. His fluctuation has not changed. It is the same as the essence of the god, but the amount is 100 times larger. Mo Nyen nodded his head and said, indeed, although we look down on this guy, if he tries his best, we can't resist it at all, only escape. Fortunately, I have the ability to escape. No matter how strong I am, I'm not afraid. For the sake of safety, they all went all the way, quickly left the boundary of Inua City, found a remote place, and made a simple adjustment. Longchen just received a hard hit from the master of Inua City, which directly consumed 30% Lingyuan of Longchen. The lord of Inua City was so terrible. After a little recovery, Longchen and others immediately found a city and began to transmit continuously to Haotian City. Although the master of Inua City is tough, with so many people together, it may not be his opponent to fight alone. But with Mo Nyen and Yu Shaoqian, the three of them together are enough to entangle him for a period of time. It is still urgent to escape, and the master of Inua City may not dare to chase him. If he provokes Long Chen and mixes with his Silver Moon City again, he will not be the city master again. This is the truth of the so-called barefoot who is not afraid of wearing shoes. One day later, Longchen and others finally returned to Haotian City. When more than 1,000 dragon blood soldiers gathered together, they burst into tears and yelled excitedly, just like a group of children. On that day, Mo Nyen once again held a banquet to celebrate for the people and reunite in the fairyland. It was really not easy. Strange, why don't you see Gu Yang, Song Mingyuan, Li Qi and Yu Zifeng after celebrating? Jiang Lei can't help but say. It's nothing strange. I've inquired about it. The 3,000 world is divided into two regions, the east and the west. One skyline separates the two parts. If you want to cross the skyline, you have to wait for the chaos to break out before the skyline disappears. At that time, the 3,000 worlds were one, and the skyline was the barometer of the 3,000 worlds. Everyone was staring at it. In fact, many monsters are sleeping in the dark, waiting for the skyline to disappear and the air of chaos gushing. These guys are either not in our area, or they're ready to fight for chaos. Mo Nyen explained. Mo Nyang explains this. The public is at ease at once, also full of expectation at the same time. More than 1,000 dragon blood warriors. Now all of them are at the highest level in Jin Dynasty, but only half of them are equipped with boundary artifact. On the one hand, there are not many artifacts in the realm. On the other hand, weapons need to be used. It is unrealistic for a swordsman to dance a sledgehammer. Although Xia Chen and Guoran can barely build the realm artifact under the present conditions, they can only create the lowest level realm artifact, and their power cannot be compared with the current mainstream weapons. If you want to create a realm artifact, you need a very high understanding of the way of heaven. In contrast, the casting skill is second, which is Guoran's weak point, and there is no way to break through it. If it was not for his sword and armor, otherwise his long sword could not be compared with the realm artifact of the strong. In addition, even if Guoran and Xia Chen can build realm artifact now, they have no time to cast them. Therefore, the Dragon Blood Army's weapons can only make do with it for the time being. In Haotian City, it's absolutely safe here. Dragon Dust orders the Dragon Blood soldiers to repair in situ and begin to rehearse their formation again and reorganize the Dragon Blood army. But Long Chen, Emon Yen, Yu Shaoqian, Guoran and Xiachen quietly left Haotian City and headed west. 3 days later, they came to a desolate place. The mountains were high and the roads were dangerous, but there was no grass. The air was desolate. The breeze was blowing and the dust was flying. The sound of the howling between the heaven and the earth was like an elegy, which made people feel dejected. The 3000 world has buried countless heroes and endless history, and I don't know how much truth has been hidden. This world is just a piece of sewage. We can't see the source of all things and the foundation of the whole world. Who is it? What do they want to do? Long Chen holds a handful of luss, feeling the strength of years in the luss, cannot help but tunnel. After his ascent, Long Chen found that Tianwu land was just the starting point of a conspiracy. With the improvement of his cultivation, he saw more and more things. He felt that he was getting closer to the truth, but the closer he was, the more he couldn't see clearly. 3000 worlds have buried an era. They are here, but they can't see anything clearly. It seems that there is an invisible hand separating them from the truth. It seems that there is only a piece of window paper between them and the truth. But this piece of window paper, how cannot be pierced, clearly feel the distance of the truth, smell the breath of the truth, but cannot see it. I'm really worthy of being a president. Every word I say is thought-provoking. But don't be afraid. The truth is at your feet. I firmly believe that as long as the hoe is well waved, the truth will not run away. Emon Yen holds a shovel and laughs. With these words, Emon Yen began to dig the ground very carefully. He dug only a few feet at a time, digging one pit after another. Suddenly, some scales appeared on his shovel. Emon Yen was measuring something with that scale. Long Chen and others don't understand. They quietly watch Emon Yen's movements. When Emon Yen digs more than a dozen pits, he doesn't dig any more. Taking out the paper and pen, he quickly drew a map, which was a picture of a lake with vertical and horizontal lines. In the middle of the map, there was a huge horizontal line, which cut the lake at the waist. It's a bit of a problem. Emon Yen looked at the sketch in his hand for a long time, and his expression was somewhat dignified. What? They asked in a hurry. This day, the burial place is impartial, just cut off by the skyline, and the core is on the skyline. It is said that it is a rope from the mysterious world. When time comes, it will disappear naturally. But if you touch it, it means that you have touched the law of one side of the world. Even the strong man at the level of the city master of Silver Moon City will surely die. Mo read a deep voice. You mean, the core is the most important thing? Longchen asked. Mo Nyang nodded, and Longchen said with a smile, the Lord of Silver Moon City dare not touch it. Maybe our brothers dare not touch it. Let's go and have a look at his burial place and skyline. Ha ha, I knew I couldn't scare you. Let's go. We're going to have a fight. Emon Yang ha 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 smile, with the crowd straight to the depths of the barren land to run. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.